everything. My computer, the Skype call, everything went dark, and I was just sitting here like, well, this is what we get for talking about the monsters.
No more talk.
That was them going. You want to pop tough? You want to pop tough? My God.
It's like, oh, you think everything's happened?
Yeah,
just
not everything.
wait.
You think everything's happened? Hold my beer. Is basically what just happened, and I'm glad, Nick. I'm glad you got to see it. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know how that first recording sounded, considering this is Mark II. Man, what? I guess.
I mean, it's a good thing I was at the start.
Yeah, damn right. I'd have fucking lost my mind. So you haven't been playing a lot of Destiny?
I haven't played Destiny since November.
Oh man, I would love to hear your take after you hop back into it, because you basically have a new game ahead of you.
Yeah, no, it definitely sounds that way. I want it to be as new, like entirely new. So I know the PvE is feeling very new. I know the movement has changed a lot, but from the sounds of it, people are still pretty unhappy with PvP. I think mostly because everybody wants it to go back to primary, secondary, heavy, instead of our current system of 2 primaries, 1 heavy. At least that's my take on it.
I mean, you wouldn't be wrong. I don't.
Yeah, keeping a pulse on Reddit and Twitter. Yeah, that opinion is pretty much still accurate.
Yeah,
I would probably have to say.
Yeah, if I was to say anything, it would be you're if you read Twitter and you're on Reddit. That's about right.
Cool.
But I mean, it is definitely a lot better. And
the PvE sounds like it's a ton more fun.
Yeah, and PvP is more fun too. I mean, for me at least. But I wasn't, Slayer.
Yeah, I mean,
done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because the tweaks they've made have done a considerable amount to improve it.
Yeah.
But, like I said, general consensus, at least, is the fact that it's not good enough still. It's like, all right, whatever.
Yeah. It's going to work for some people, still not going to work for others.
But either way, I mean, come September, so much is going to change. It's ridiculous.
But
it is downright dumb.
Des, I do like how you dropped that one, buddy. Why don't you tell everybody and me what was going on in the TWAB this week, because it was a pretty interesting one. And Nick, I'd like to get your I don't want to say outside Destiny opinion on it, but the opinion of someone who hasn't picked up the game since November.
Yeah,
It'll
be interesting.
Absolutely.
All right. Let's see. Well, I guess part of the big news in the TWAB, because literally it is the big image in the TWAB, is the D2 Year 2 reveal.
That's right.
It's coming June 5th, 9 a.m. Pacific. That's right, not 10. On Bungie's Twitch. So that's about all we know about that. But we are going to hear from some possibly new people, because I don't quite recognize these names. Game director Steve Cotton and project lead Scott Taylor. Or they say you might recognize them from previous reveals. Maybe I'm just dumb. Anywho.
Are those the two guys from Vicarious Vision?
Probably not.
No?
Because this is the game director and project lead. Project lead is possible, but game director, no. I mean, nobody at Vicarious is going to have that high of a title for D2. I don't think.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't recognize names anyway. You could be like, "Hey, man, you saved my life 3 years ago from drowning after getting eaten by a shark." I'm like, I don't remember you. So
that sounds like my memory.
Yeah. I actually just had a conversation at work on how I was I was properly portrayed on screen as Dory, basically. So
Yeah,
I was
I
like,
think
oh, hey,
Dory
this
would be-
thing. Oh, who's you? Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Hey guys, what's over here?
Anywho, I guess the actual meat, though, like I said, the big piece is, of course, the reveal stream happening June 5th at Nisu Nisu. But the actual meat in this TWAB are the faction rally changes, which they are certainly changing. Beyond the new progression system introduced in Season 3, which gives you clear defined paths all the way up to 50 packages, essentially, in which at rank 50 of each faction is an exotic masterwork catalyst. So that's going to be nice.
Exotic Masterwork Atlas?
Catalyst.
Catalyst, okay.
Yes.
I actually haven't figured out what a catalyst is yet.
It's basically a progression path to turn an exotic into a masterwork.
Oh, okay, cool. That makes sense.
Most catalysts right now, in fact, about 90% of catalysts are random drops.
Okay.
And there are a few that are not.
Cool.
Graviton Lands, Sunshot, and Sweet Business are all going to be tied to the factions. Once you hit rank 50, you'll get those catalysts.
Cool.
Dead Orbit has Graviton Lands, Future War Call has Sunshot, and New Monarchy has Sweet Business.
So Dead Orbit, congratulations on the win.
Screw you, still pledging New Monarchy.
Yep.
Not New Monarchy, Future War Call for that Sunshot, because, ooh, that's going to be nasty.
I'm just from the ornaments alone, I'm going New Monarchy. Plus, I don't have full sets of armor, so.
Yes, and pledging is different now.
Yeah, buddy.
Because you...
One faction, all 3 characters.
Well, I mean, it is literally one faction per account.
Oh, yeah, per account. Okay.
Period. So, fair, because I was going to start doing that anyway. Let's see. Reputation progress will be retained through multiple events. So just in case you don't get what you want, you can pledge the next event, but they are only planning 3 faction rallies.
Bananas.
So, you have hopefully just enough time, or just enough rallies to get everything you want out of all of them. Hopefully. They've mentioned... So also they have ornaments attached to each faction. Dead Orbit also has the Eye of Another World Warlock helmet. Attached to it, New Monarchy has the Crest of Alpha Lupi for Titans. And Future War Cult will have the Knucklehead Radar for Hunters. And them ornaments, which all of them actually look pretty good, I gotta say.
Oh, the ornaments? Yeah.
Yeah, the exotic ornaments look pretty good.
Hold on, let me see if I can get a picture.
I do like the fact that the New Monarchy, or the Crest of Alpha Lupi, actually... I mean, is that the crest?
The actual crest
in the picture?
Yeah, I would assume it is, yes.
I know, right? Because the ornament looks... I mean, the preview of the ornament looks slightly different, but that year, they literally New Monarchy... put a New Monarchy logo on the Crest of Alpha Lupi. So, fair.
We gotta spread the word. Always be promoting, boys.
Yeah. But the big changes to faction rallies is introducing a new system known as the Renown system. After pledging to a faction, players may earn renown by completing a public event or patrol, or by defeating high-value targets on destinations. Players who loot a lost sector with renown active will receive significantly more faction tokens than usual. The more stacks of renown they have, the more faction tokens they earn. Renown is lost when players are defeated by enemies, so be careful when you're attempting to loot a lost sector with high renown. But that's not all renown does. Renown increases the level of challenge in gameplay. Which
I like. I think it's cool.
Yeah. So with each stack of renown, health regeneration is vastly reduced. Enemy kills have a chance to drop health orbs, though. And player damage is decreased, which scales with stack up to 5. And incoming damage is increased, which scales with stack up to 5. So the more renown you have, the harder it will be.
But more rewarding.
Yes, it's going to be about risk reward. And I love the fact that they're taking effectively what was the grindy method of looting lost sectors over and over again, and they made a gameplay mechanic around it essentially.
Yeah.
So I mean, what's going to be the best way to get faction tokens? High renown and spelunk into those lost sectors.
And Nick, I put a picture of them up.
Yeah, I just checked them all out. Okay. Pretty awesome looking stuff.
Yeah, and of course, if you have renown active, you have this giant aura glowing at the base of your neck, essentially. That's going to be weird.
It effectively says, "Eat it, Joe's."
Yeah, no, right? Oh, God.
I don't think I have a picture. Hold on, do I have a picture of that?
I mean, yeah, there's a GIF in the TWAB, but I don't know how that will translate. And of course, they will still have winners' offerings. But yeah, like Buster said, chances are Dead Orb is going to win, so we are getting a shotgun from winners' offering. So there's that, but I just realized I'm going to have to pay full price for this thing for the first time.
Yeah.
Crap. Because like I said, that strategy is gone. But, yeah, Dead Orbit has the Basilisk shotgun. New Monarchy's winner offering is the Broadsword Launcher rocket launcher. And Future War Cult is the Vision Omelon sidearm. Which I don't think any of them are too incredibly spectacular.
No one cares about what it is.
I know.
It's about the winner anymore. It's just it could be a smile, a piece of poop with a Dead Orbit sticker on it.
Actually, the Basilisk, I wouldn't be too sad with getting the Basilisk because it does have the possibility of hitting the highest handling in its archetype. So, I mean, high handling just means, essentially, it's better draw speed. So, I mean, since blink shotgunning is kind of becoming a thing again, Basilisk will actually kind of fit that archetype fairly well. So there is that. As far as, like I said, Vision and Broadsword launcher is a rocket launcher. Mm-hmm. That's it. And then the Vision, it's another Omelon sidearms. I mean, they'd be nice to have, but at the same time, I mean, I think at least for the winner's offering, I think that Orbit's got it on this one. I mean,
from the winner's offering alone, yeah.
Oh yeah, just from the winner's offering.
I agree with that.
But yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see like who wins first and whatever, essentially.
Who shot first?
Yeah. It's like how this is going to go. If like each faction is actually going to get a win or if someone's going to dominate. It's going to be interesting.
Well, I mean, I think we're going to see a lot of Dead Orbit at first because of the fact that Graviton Lance is so dominant. but then I think it will trickle down. I mean, there's going to be holdouts like you and I, Des.
You guys won't give in to Dead Orbit? Come on.
Not until I get a full set of ornamented new monarchy armor. Those ornaments alone are what got me.
I mean, everyone can flock towards the Graviton Lance Catalyst and get that extra aim assist, but like I said, 30 range and 20 stability on Sunshot.
What does Sweet Business get?
It gets the serious business perk where you don't flinch when you're firing.
Oh, I'll take that.
That's it.
Yeah, that sounds quite underwhelming, but still useful because that thing does. You do flinch like a crazy person.
Yeah, I mean, autos do flinch pretty heavy, but so that won't be, or at least it will be toned down. But yeah, so like I said, Sunshine. I mean, I want to see exactly how that turns out in practice. As far as the second faction, I have no clue what second faction I'm going to go after, or in the next one. But anywho, so that's that. Faction Rally will go live June the 5th.
Next Tuesday.
At 10 a.m.
From this recording.
Yeah. They also talk about the fact that Crucible Labs has dropped. I did not try the game mode because I've been busy doing milestones. But it is called Showdown. And it's essentially Crimson Doubles, but it's 4v4.
Yeah, that's the best way to describe it.
I mean, that's literally how everyone describes it, and is literally how they refer to it in the TWAB.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds pretty fun.
In fact, Derek Carroll actually refers to it as double doubles.
Is he trying to make a Canadian joke?
I don't know. But I mean, considering it's 4v4 instead of 2v2, I guess, double doubles.
Is that a Canadian joke?
Double doubles are how we refer to our standard coffee here in Canada.
Oh.
At Tim Hortons. Mm-hmm. Double double means 2 milk or 2 cream, 2 sugar.
That's just a more efficient way of ordering coffee.
I know, right? That's it's crafty right there. That's what that is. That's crafty. So if you've played the Showdown, there's thing in the feedback forums, and I know this has gotten a lot of heat. Not just the fact that, come on, it's literally people expected it as soon as it got added to the game for it to be up and running and going. Mm-hmm. That's not how a PTS/PTR works. Doesn't work that way. It's like if they have changes to test, it's going to be up. If they don't, it's not.
Yeah, it's not forever up.
No, it's going to be up, and I know it's a whole different can of worms. The fact that it's not going to have sandbox changes.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: is people's like, well, this is useless, and it's like this thing. It's like if they actually get people's feedback, actual feedback on these game modes before they get released, then we don't need timer tweaks or score tweaks or this is so many point tweaks to the game. They can actually launch a better game mode without having to screw around with its mechanics or point values or score limits or timers or whatever.
Or a weird bug where you can glitch outside the map and still shoot out. Stuff like that.
Oh, that's every PvP map. Come on.
I know. Fair point, sir.
And then Bungie has tweaked escalation protocol.
And I know you and Burning have had it out about that one.
I mean, you say have it out. I was just trying to.
Well, not have.
I mean, I was literally just trying to like. He's got this theory, and it's like, okay. I mean, Bernie's theory is right. I mean, congratulations, you found a needle in a haystack. If not, then business as usual.
Yeah.
I was just trying to figure out why I was like, bunkering in and tuckering down, and like, I don't know. It just seemed like he was severely defending this theory, and it's like, but what if it's not? I mean,
but hear me out here. Or you out of your fucking mind.
And then Pupper Problems. Let's see. So escalation protocol, let's see, waves 1, 2, and 3 were at 370 power. Waves 4 and 5 were at 385. And then waves 6 and 7 were actually at 400 power. Which is interesting because, that's not a power level we can hit right now. So, yeah. But as the values go now, 1 through 3 are still at 370. 4 and 5 are dropped back to 380, and then 6 and 7 are 385.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a huge change, and it's still at our current cap on difficulty. So chances are it's still not going to be that easy.
No, doesn't sound like it will be.
Sorry for that, guys. The dog thought, hey, really cool thing. There's a little gap between the wall and where Buster's sitting, and I really, really, really want to go see him right now. So I'm going to jump between that gap of the wall and every piece of electronics in this room. And he jumped his big old beefy ass through that little gap. And I caught every piece of electronic in this room with one arm. So, excuse me, I wasn't... He is now laying down in the corner looking at me like, I just want to let you know I love you and I'm sorry because that looked like it hurt real, real bad. So, Pupper Problems.
Pupper Problems.
Whew.
Oh, all right. Pupper Problems. So, actually, as of this recording, already released is issue 2 of the Warmind digital comic. I have not read it yet.
Me neither.
Oops. I completely forgot about that. But, known issues for 1.2.1. Don't grind the Nightfalls. Just don't do it. Not right now. There's an issue with Nightfall unique rewards from base Destiny 2 and Curse of Osiris strikes. They're not dropping right now. So don't do it. Get your milestones. Be done with it.
Yeah.
You're not getting the DFA this week. That's about it. And that's about it.
That's it.
For the TWAP.
That's that.
So where do you guys stand on the escalation protocol changes?
I mean,
I know it's a heated point in the community.
It is a heated point in the community, and I don't understand why. Because escalation protocol itself is just in a really weird place, because it's like people wanted a challenge. Like, I actually had to talk to somebody about it, because they're like, oh, that change sucks. And it's like, you're only 10 power ahead of what I am. You aren't, your average player, chances are, hasn't even been capable of experiencing escalation protocol, quote unquote, as intended, as a 3-man fire team at max power.
Yep.
So, I don't know, because I haven't reached that. I have a day job.
yeah. I can't read every single day.
So I don't know how these changes. I mean, all I know is the waves that I can get past. I think Bernie and Davis and a few other we hit level 4 and couldn't get past it. All I know is that it's still going to be hard as balls for me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I know, and that's all I can really judge is that entry point still sucks for me. I mean, but I liked what they did. In the fact of, like I said, raising the power of the encounter to actually above what we can actually hit right now was a very nice touch to add like a level of difficulty, because like I said, they've created this entire delta, or they've redone their power delta, their difficulty delta, and so it kind of allows them to do this thing. It's like, okay, well, we don't want to just add like a numerical value of health to these bosses, to make them tougher. They can actually just bump up their power a little higher, and all of a sudden the delta works for them at that point in time. Which, like I said, Burning does have a theory that the reason they were able to do it so quick, and the fact that they have the server tags at all, is because we're going to get a power level bump come the summer event to 400 as a max, which, like I said, if you're right, Bernie, then you saw a very interesting needle in a haystack. But I don't know, because, like I said, having, especially in more modern RPGs, is becoming a thing that your super bosses are kind of like game boundary breaking. I mean, most recently in like Final Fantasy 15, even though they actually did end up bumping up your player cap to give you a reason to play New Game Plus, essentially. But one of the hardest bosses in the game was level 120, while your level cap is 99.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I mean, it's like a... So yes, it could be, Bungie's plan of introducing a difficulty early, or it could have been Bungie just taking another RPG mechanic. Either one is not highly, but either one's a possibility. So there's that. But like I said, I haven't gotten to 6 or 7. Like I said, it's probably still going to be a struggle.
Yeah.
Because, interestingly enough, I do know, Inspire's... from what I've seen in Spire of Stars, I mean, in order to get what I know of, the Delta, in order to get the exclamation mark off of an enemy, you actually have to be 3 power levels above that enemy encounter.
Dang.
For it to stop being, dangerous.
Yeah.
Essentially. That's still not possible. Not right now. Yep. So it's still a dangerous encounter, essentially. But that's all I can do is speculate that, it's still going to be hard as balls.
Gotcha.
I'm personally okay with it. I wanted something hard, Well,
I mean, that and them lowering this power level is because a lot of people were discouraged with Escalation Protocol.
Yeah, for sure.
Because, you watch your streamers and you watch these guys and your YouTubers, and these guys, they're running it with 9 people. There's no way I'll be able to run it.
Yeah.
Type deal,
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, that's not Bungie's fault. It's just it's not even the streamer's fault. It's just them engaging with their audience.
Yep.
And people taking it away.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, and like I said, there's no fault. It's just a thing that happens. But it turned into a negative connotation towards Escalation Protocol. So in doing this, I think Bungie's actually trying to bring in that entryway back.
Yeah.
Because once they hear, Escalation Protocol is actually easier now, it might spark interest again and keep it as an in-game interesting thing to do.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
dog, I swear to God. I swear to God today.
Speaking of in-game activity.
Yeah, my in-game activity is lifting a 70-pound puppy away from things. So if we ever play and you hear me go, no, 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 and then go real quiet, it's me literally wrestling a puppy. Because he doesn't understand, to him, he's still that little baby.
And he is not a little baby anymore.
No, he was never a little baby, to be honest.
Yep.
The missus always refers to him as her little man and her little baby. And I'm like, he wasn't a little anything when we got him. As a 12-week-old puppy, he was massive.
Yep. Dang.
But I do apologize, dear listeners, and Nick, I apologize.
You're good. You are good. The only thing I'll say about the escalation protocol from what I've seen from the outside is like just how much fun the 9-man stuff sounded. It does seem like it could have been a missed opportunity if Bungie had just gone ahead and found a way to add 9-man matchmaking. But again, I've not experienced it, so I can't speak to the actual intensity. Even with 9 people, how many of those people need to be highlight for it to actually be doable?
It's actually interesting because I was able to do a larger party because there was 6 of us in a party, and 3 of them lived within 2 of them literally lived a mile from each other or whatever.
Oh wow!
So we were actually able to get into an area and do. I mean, the plan was 9-manning it, but we couldn't get interest that late at night and get more people in. But we were a 6 stack of us and then 3 blueberries. So I mean, technically we were. But it actually became very interesting because it became almost like playing PvP.
Interesting.
Because it wasn't... Because, there's nothing like that mechanically heavy to getting to the boss. Okay. And even the bosses themselves aren't super mechanically heavy. But it's all about, it just became about call-outs, okay, we got Thrall coming up the hill to the right, we have, Curse Thrall coming through the door to the left, Ogre, watch out, now here's the boss, our boss is booped and debuffed, go, super, Tethers super out, go. So it became very PvP call-out-esque, and it is fun that way, but like I said, we still couldn't get past, we came so close to getting past level 4.
Okay.
Because at that week, I don't know if the early levels rotate, but at level 4, the boss was this witch that had this green field around her. No clue what that did. And 2 or 3 knights, all boss level, all healthy, and it's oh. Yeah. I think we got it down to 1 knight at one point in time with a sliver before my internet decided to hate me and just utterly cut out, and it's well, all right, guess I'm done for the night. But it was, like I said, it was super fun, and it was very interesting. But yeah.
Cool.
I got into the beginning of level 3 with just, I ran headfirst a la me into it. I didn't realize what was going on. I came out of the descent and ran into the drift, and it was right there. It's that one that's right in front of you when you run down. You know what I'm talking about? As soon as you run out of the descent, it's right in the middle where the public event spawns. That's where it was. And I ran into it, and the boss was right there, and I was just well, this is no good. I guess I'm going to drop my super now. I'll just put my bubble down and hope for the best. And the best did not happen well, I'm telling you.
But yeah. I mean, all in all, like I said, I think in part it's due to the fact that I like the new difficulty delta that Bungie has worked with. Because for the first time probably in the history of Destiny, your power level actually feels like it matters.
Well, that's I feel like that sounds like a very good thing.
Oh, it's an awesome thing because I hated heroic strikes the first couple weeks because I was like either at or under power level for them.
Yeah.
And now now they have modifiers, like, wow, heroic strikes suck. But I was running them on my hunter this week and I was noticing I kind of was able to go mindless again. Because my hunter's like at a high enough level that it's just challenging because of the modifiers now. So it's like, I actually felt the difference of when my hunter started to now.
Cool.
And that actually hasn't happened in a long time in Destiny.
Yeah, that was definitely something I felt like was missing early on in the game. It just like didn't. It was just a number and nothing else.
It is definitely a thing now. It is the number difference between you getting like 2 shot by a hive boomer or not.
Yeah, no, that's great.
But yeah, it's like I said, I do like that new Delta. It definitely feels like that's changed, and like I said, it's just all these other things. I mean, I don't really care for the grind to get there as quite so much, but I do understand why it's there. But it's like, yeah, it's a hefty grind.
What's like what kind of content can help get your light level up? Like, what's the required?
See, sadly, there's
right now.
Yeah, to get to 340 is super easy because pretty much everything will get you to 340.
Yeah,
and it'll get you to 340 fairly fast. But 340 is the current soft cap.
Gotcha.
After 340, you're dependent upon.
Is it RNG?
Essentially, but you're basically dependent after 340 on your powerful reward drops. So all of your milestones, the raid encounters.
Yeah.
There's now a chance to get a powerful engram. They just added this with the last patch. There's a roughly 25% chance while running a heroic strike to get a powerful engram from it. But sadly, there's no like. I was actually running back through, and I ran across like the Rise of Iron, light level progression like image, like one of the thousands people made.
Yeah,
it is not that. There's not that many activities because heroic strikes aren't all that worth it beyond their milestone, at least until this powerful engram. But yeah, so there's just not like a lot of mid-level activities to help slowly push you towards the hard cap.
Gotcha.
Is it 25%? Is that?
I believe that's what was released in the patch notes. Is around a 25% chance.
Good God, I must have had great luck then because it rained on me and I was like, don't say anything. Jinx it. I was just sitting here like, okay, cool. I just got a. Did that say 360? Oh, okay. I'm not saying anything. Shh. In my head, I was like, Buster, shut the fuck up. Don't say nothing. The game will be like, that was a mistake. I'm taking it back.
Fixed an issue, Trench Barrel, Crucible Labs, Public Events, Strikes. Oh yeah, also, Exodus Crash is removed from Heroic Strike matchmaking until they re-release it.
Oh, I think I saw people were still ending up in it.
Yeah, there was like this weird bug like initially to where you could actually still load into it. I think that's gone now. Because I've done 9 Heroic Strikes and I haven't gotten it.
That's good.
I mean, but then again,
that is the one with the like invisible dude at the end, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That strike was awful forever.
It was.
Who designed that strike and thought, this is fun?
I know. It became not bad for me.
Okay.
But yeah, it was still awful. Because, I mean, my biggest issue was the fact that you couldn't do a lot of, like, burst DPS to him. It's like, hey, you go to pop a super, 2 swipes, yep, he's gone.
Yeah, it was, like, too brief, his appearance.
Sitting there looking like an a-hole with your super activated and nobody to swing at. It was like, hi, guys.
Isn't this a cool effect?
Yeah. And then, of course, Nighthawk didn't help because his health was actually gated. So you actually couldn't do full damage with a Nighthawk shot. So it's like...
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so that strike was just meh. Yeah, heroic strikes, like I said, they are listed to have around a 25% chance to award powerful engrams of up to 360 power. So yeah.
I mean, that'll help if you need it.
Yeah. If you ask me, I think heroic strikes should probably just drop things of up to 360, but I mean, that's just my opinion.
They should. You think that's what they should be?
Yeah, like
yeah,
here's we have a soft cap at 340, but heroic strikes will get you to 360, and then that way you're actually,
and then milestone the rest of the way.
Yeah, you can milestone a little higher, but even at 360, I still feel you're at a decent spot to at least try and tackle the end game, like the Spire of the Stars and crap like that. You can actually get your feet wet a little.
Yeah,
essentially. I feel like that. Yeah, that was kind of like what the path used to be. Heroic strikes were pretty useful for a while in D1.
Exactly.
They didn't become useless right away.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, but that was definitely the path, but like I said, that's kind of missing right now.
Okay.
I'm sure year 2 will probably have like an entirely different thing, perhaps. I mean, I don't know, because what Taken King did for D1 was like, holy crap. And, there are some goers that are comparing year 2 to Taken King.
Yeah.
Like, kind of directly in, like, the changes they're, like, thinking about bringing up and such. So,
I saw a Reddit post today. Actually, I think I was browsing a bit this morning, and I found it funny. There was a post that was saying, we're all excited that, year 2 is going to be like the Taken King to D1. But it's really sad when you think about it that D2 was supposed to be the Taken King.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, D2 kind of fell quite a bit flat in the end. But
I'm just happy the game's moving in a positive direction.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's one thing Bungie, like, Bungie might take 2 steps back on a release, but it's the path, like, after release, they always move in positive directions.
Yeah.
Like I said, their actual releases may not be perfect, and yeah, they may take a few steps back, but they do eventually get to a good spot. I mean, that is bad, at least.
Nick, forgive me for not asking ahead of time. What system do you play on?
I have the base game on PC, and then I have the full set on PS4.
Okay.
Yeah, I went hard on the PS4 stuff. Like, I ordered the collector's edition and all that fun stuff.
Nice.
Because I was pretty sure I was gonna love it.
Well,
but hopefully September. I've essentially decided that September is gonna be my time when I give it a go again. Because I just feel like I need to give it a lot of time for me to come back, and I really just want it to feel completely fresh.
Yeah, I mean that's
I want it to feel like what the D2 launch should have felt like.
Yeah,
that'll be it then.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, September. Like I said, with all these changes, like a lot of people are saying, especially semi-covers. It's like, tell your friends September will be the time to come back. But I mean, at the same time, because now people like Arrow Knight's like, you know what, September will be the time to come back for a lot of different things. But at the same time, there's a lot different now. But yeah, there's a lot different now. But at the same time, like I said, I do understand. Like I said, September, I mean, it's just going to be massive because everyone's going to be put, like, just the fact of them thinking of tweaking, like, weapon randomizations and weapon slot changes. Like, everyone's going to be at, like, an off-kilter, like, with the release of this. Like, regardless of what it is, like, everything's going to be, like, pushed off balanced, yeah.
Yeah, even us who play, often will be, what? Oh no. Yeah, we'll be put on our back, the back pedal.
Yeah.
So, I think it's interesting. It'll be a fun time seeing all the new faces, the new old faces, I should say.
Yeah.
It's like, hey buddy, welcome back. But
Yeah, fair weather guardians. Of course, not saying everyone that's gone is fair weather. Let me put that out there because, like, it's just there are a lot that say they're around, but they're not. They're not. Not really. But anyway, yeah.
Now, Nick.
Yeah?
I found you because Twitter was like, hey, you like weird stuff. No disrespect to your art. I do actually like weird stuff. Do you want to see this guy make a fallen walker from Legos? And I said, sure.
Here's my first question, though. Mm-hmm. Is it Legos?
It's all Lego.
Okay. I'm just making sure, like, if you had a brand preference. I do not dabble in
other brands.
Okay. All right. I mean, that's cool because I was a Lego fan myself. Like, nice. As a kid, I don't know, I had Mega Bloks and crap like that.
Yeah, you would end up with some naturally.
Yeah, I just preferred Legos.
Yeah.
I mean, and yes, like, what you do is, like, 5-year-old me, like, jumping up and down inside. It's like, I wish I would have thought of that. It's like, you mean I actually could have, like, made a thing.
Don't worry, 5-year-old me wasn't thinking like this either.
Right? Because it's like, oh my god, I could have, like, if only I would have, like, known then, like, just some of the hints. What I knew now is like, hey, YouTube would be a thing, so develop a weird skill and start doing that. I mean, you know.
Well, I mean, there's weird video. I mean, my girlfriend watches people cut soap, Des. So.
Oh yeah, I understand. There's
not a joke.
The most
I was serious as
it is an oddly pleasing thing, though. I can't deny.
I know, but I mean, there's people that they film themselves using an industrial shredder.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
There's like entire channels just built on hydraulic presses.
I know
things, right?
And I watched them.
You do. You want to see?
But it's just a guy with industrial gear and too much time on his hands. That's all. That's all those channels are.
Yep.
But it is strangely satisfying to hear plastic crunching in an industrial shredder, though. Mm-hmm. I don't know why, but that like crackle and cut is just like strangely satisfying. Yeah, sorry to derail that, but yeah, just like I said, I just had to know if you had like brand preference, essentially.
I definitely do.
Okay.
Yep.
So, sorry, the pup. This is going to be the name of this episode is Pupper Problems, I think. Pupper Problems with BricknNick. So we covered that they are actually Legos and not some.
They are indeed Legos. They're not
weird
Mega Bloks. They're not like off-brand. So I know there's a lot of them. Holy crap!
Yep, using the good old Lego bricks.
How do you get some of the weird shapes?
Like, are you talking about like how do I achieve the shapes in the builds, or like how do I get the pieces that are weird shapes?
Some from column A, some from column B, because you have in the Imgur that we dropped.
Yep.
That we're gonna have. You made the Hammer of Soul, which that thing has to be kind of hefty, right?
It's actually pretty small, that guy. Yeah, I don't actually have that one handy. That was actually for a giveaway I did on stream. The guy had requested a Hammer of Soul, so I built one for him. It's pretty small, and it wasn't very heavy. But it's just, knowing what pieces exist in Lego's pool of parts, which spending as much time with Lego as I do, you get to know that pretty well. And then just messing around with how you can combine them to get the shapes and looks that you're looking for.
Now, can you, is there a way you can order individual parts, or do you just buy,
absolutely.
Okay. I was wondering, do you buy pre-established sets and then just kind of, freestyle from there?
I would say for me, it's, right now, I'm definitely more on the side of individual parts. I used to do a lot more set buying, more particularly when I worked at the Lego store, and I had good reasons to buy Lego sets. There's a website called BricknNick. It's probably the most popular individual piece website. And you can just buy pretty much anything and everything Lego related, but it is primarily for just individual pieces.
Yeah.
So I'm very lucky though for that. For the most part, I can do the majority of my builds with parts I have on hand, and then sometimes I just need to order some additional pieces to finish builds out. So like the hammer I built almost entirely, except for I didn't have like enough of the curve slopes you see on the handle, so it was left as rough for a couple weeks until I got the parts to finish it off.
That's actually kind of interesting to me because here's a surprise. I never played with Legos because it just frustrated me for some strange reason.
Hey, it's not for everybody.
Oh, I played with holy crap out of Legos. Oh my god. The sad thing is I can't even remember, like, because I used to have like this big tub that looked like a 5-gallon bucket essentially, and it was like full, and I can't even remember because like I said, I know I used to buy or be given like specific sets. Mm-hmm. I can't tell you what those sets were because I just played with Legos.
Love building stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, that's where I find all my fun too.
So, what was the project that sparked this? What was the first thing you've ever built?
Like as a custom build rather than being like a Lego set?
Yeah.
I've honestly just been doing it for so long. Like it was something I was definitely drawn to as a kid. Like I even remember at my grandmother's house with like some random, the bigger building blocks for kids. Like those were they've just been around forever. Definitely like I would say I remember some of my early mocks were like Star Wars inspired. I think like most kids around my age kind of grew up when the Star Wars sets first came out, and a lot of people had those, and I was into, all the vehicle designs and stuff were really exciting as a kid to see. As awful as a movie of Attack of the Clones is, it had some amazing vehicle design, which is why I loved it as a kid. So a lot of my stuff was like Star Wars inspired, and like I moved into sci-fi builds. And again, same thing going along as like what we were into when we were younger. Call of Duty was big, so I was building a lot of like military mocks. And by the way, MOCs is an acronym, MOC. It's a very common term used in the LEGO community. Stands for my own creation. So we call them MOCs. So everything I build is pretty much MOCs because they're all custom designed. They're not anything built from instructions. So I don't know. I've just been doing it forever. And with as long as I've been doing it, you would hope that over time you get better and better. And I think that has been reasonably evident in the work I produce.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Wow. And this is like another thing I enjoy about, stumbling across people like is just also uncovering like, oh yeah, by the way, like what I do, there's an entire like community of people that have been doing this for a while. We
Absolutely.
have our own lingo and terminology, and it's like,
yep,
that's what fascinates me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you dropped MOCs before, and I was like, what?
Oh, sorry.
Should I know what that is? I don't know.
Sorry. I realize now. There's tons of acronyms. Like one of the main ones you may hear, like or stumble upon, would be AFOL or AFOL. That's Adult Fan of Lego. So people will often refer to themselves as an AFOL or AFOL.
Fair. That's fair.
That's actually a good one. Adult Fan of Lego.
Adult Fan of Lego.
There's also like TFOLs, Teen Fans of Lego, and KFOLs, Kid Fan of Legos, and tons of other variations. So,
that's fair. That's fair. That's actually really cool. That's actually really, really cool. Holy crap. I mean...
Des is nerding out a little bit, so...
I mean...
Yeah, hey, please do. That's what I like to hear when people see my stuff. They get excited. That's why I do it.
I mean, yeah, because, I mean, it's just like calling back. It's like, because this is like a thing that, like, basically, like I said, it touches my inner kid.
Yeah.
So it's like I try
Buster seems to be lacking on that one.
I mean...
I appreciate the artistry, if that helps.
Yeah, I mean...
But you didn't have a childhood.
I try and, like... Or I'm trying to, like, think rational thoughts here, and then like I said, little 5-year-old me is just in here. I was like, yay, Legos, yay! So it's like, oh crap, what do I ask? I mean, what's my interest in? Like I said, it's just a little kid like bouncing up and down and joy in me. It's like, yeah. Oh, because this is just great. But I guess for our listeners, I mean, so trying to ask this in a way. But where, I mean, do you perform this artistry?
Oh, yeah. So my primary form of content creation is actually on Twitch. So I think almost everything in that Imgur link was actually built live on stream. So it's really fun to be able to kind of share in the process with people and have people to hang out with while I work on projects, get feedback, get inspiration. So like, again, the Hammer of Soul was for a giveaway. The last word that's there, that was like a request that I did for someone. So it's cool to both be able to share the process and be inspired by the people that are sharing in that process with me.
Nice. That's very nice. And that is cool because, like I said, especially with, I guess the newer, subsections of Twitch, I say newer, but, I mean, because things like IRL and stuff has actually been around for a while now. But it just kind of opened, like, a whole new world for this type of like artistry and stuff. People can just chill and like, or I guess creative has actually been around even longer. Yeah,
creative has been around since I believe like early 2015.
Okay, so I think it was a little longer than IRL, but yeah. Which I don't know why
it's
IRL
like at least
popped in my
over
head.
a year. Newer.
Yeah, I don't know why IRL popped in my head, but because it's like, no, this is creative, dummy.
IRL's become a lot more commonplace than creative, unfortunately.
It has,
fortunately, depending on your.
But yeah, that's. I mean, like I said, with that opening, I mean, it's just really cool because Twitch was like, oh, I'm gonna watch video games, and the first time I saw creative, it's like, what's this?
Yeah.
Creative? I mean, I don't know. I guess that's the old fuddy-duddy in me. It's like, I'm not going in there. Twitch is not much video games on Twitch. But yeah, I mean, like I said, like it just opens, artists and whatever your medium is.
Yep.
You can just connect with people. Yep. That's the one thing I love about the internet right now. It's like at its best, it allows people to connect with these wider communities and such, and like create these wider communities. So I mean, it's just miraculous. Well, like I said, it's best because there are the dark.
It's a cesspool of hate and violence.
You're not wrong, but then again, the internet has always been that way.
Yep,
that's true.
I mean, a lot of people. Because it's a thing I see on Twitter right now. There's a lot of people complaining about, oh, Twitter's getting so negative and such. It's like, welcome to the internet that I've been using since at least 2002. It's been this way.
Yep, when people can hide behind a screen name.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
What they'll say and do.
Oh, yeah.
As soon as someone goes, oh, I can say the worst, most hurtful things and not get punched in the face.
Yep.
That's pretty much,
What I actually love are those people, like, because, especially back in, the early days when chat rooms and such were, the most prevalent form of communication. It was actually really great to get these, people whose courage amplifies, behind the anonymity, thank you, of the internet. And then you have these, like, basically low-level hackers that know just enough to find out where you live. So you got this person talking all big and bad, and all of a sudden this dude pops in. It's like, he can get your address, and all of a sudden he brings up a Google Maps satellite image of your house. It's like, it's a pretty cool car in your front yard, and they're like, wait, what?
Yep, absolutely.
You just gotta feel the terror. And it's like, oh crap. But yeah.
So, Nick, what was your favorite? I was gonna go. What was your favorite Destiny build, and then regular build?
Destiny. I think I'm gonna have to give that one to the Divide, like the Fallen Walker model.
Ooh, yeah.
I've always really enjoyed like doing like I guess what I would call minifigure scale, though don't get me wrong, that build is far from scaled in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Some sort of weird approximate. Lego minifigures at the end of the day are completely out of whack, so it's really hard to do proper scale with them. But I really enjoyed working on that build. That was like one of my favorite areas in D1. And it was just really, really fun to be able to kind of recreate it in the brick and just like find all the fun little details. Like I must have spent like 6 or 7 hours just like walking around the area, studying little nooks and crannies that you would never bother to look at unless you were doing something like this. So it was really, really cool to do that. And then the Fallen Walker was really, really fun as well. Like trying to, figure out how to incorporate some, extra features into that rather than just making it a static model. So doing the thing with the neck where if you pull it forward, a portion of it lights up, just like it does in the game when you pop off one of the legs. And there's like the little side panels on the back. When you open them up, a little shank comes popping out with it as well. And then I don't know if you guys had ever seen the video, but the walker is actually motorized to like walk in a circle as well.
Oh my god!
Would you like me to send you a link to that?
Yes.
Yes,
all right.
Because I will watch that.
Let me grab it.
I mean, the fact that you made the Suro shotgun was pretty impressive.
Yeah, that was a fun one too. And I'm not going to deny that probably my favorite detail of all my builds is the fact that I managed to somehow get the logo on there. I spent I think I spent almost 4 hours alone just like trial and erroring the heck out of that thing.
That's where my question came from about how do you get your shapes? Like, do you get custom shapes? Like, do you? I was wondering, did you 3D print? That's what I thought you. I thought
it's just a lot of messing around with Lego, and I will not deny that there is possibly some less than legal techniques being used to do things. I don't always stay within what I would call legal building techniques. Just to give a quick, overview of what I mean by that. Lego sets will only use certain types of techniques, but there are other ways that you can use Lego pieces that go beyond what you would see in a Lego set. So anything that goes beyond what you would see in a Lego set would be considered an illegal technique.
Okay.
So in order to achieve the Suros logo, I needed to have pieces interact in a way that they won't actually stay in place. So there is actually a row of sticky tack behind the logo to hold pieces in place. Okay. Though I do justify that if I wanted to, I could use the leftovers of Lego sticker sheets over top of it, and it would hold them in place.
Okay, all right.
So I always find a way to justify that I'm still using Lego. It just may not be in a way that you would see in a Lego set.
Yeah, exactly.
That's definitely one of the furthest stretches.
Always a loophole.
Exactly. Just got to find the loopholes.
I'm not at all. Now for the young wolf's howl, is that fur wrapped around the
It is. So yeah. So that was another thing. Funnily enough, there is actually Lego fur that exists. They've made it for some sets, but it was from some really old set, and it was very expensive, and I would have had to buy multiple pieces of it. So again, I could have tried to do some sort of weird Lego built version of fur, but it just really didn't make sense in the context. So that was another example of me being I'd rather have it look more like the real thing and sacrifice the fact that it's not Lego than, I don't know, have some really other weird solution.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah, that's actually cool.
It is being held on with Lego rubber bands, if that makes sense.
Holy crap.
There are Lego rubber bands wrapped around it, and you can actually see the little X on the handle is Lego rubber bands as well.
I'm not an official. Yeah. I'm not an official for the Lego Building the Lego Building Society of America.
You're not the Lego police. You're not going to come, bang down my doors.
Rules are just loose guidelines for me.
Yeah, exactly. No.
So that was that's actually cool. I also know that you build a lot of pop culture builds.
Mm-hmm.
I know you did the what was it, the Captain America cowl that you can actually put on.
Yep, I do have that.
Which is super
Holy
cool.
Crap.
I know you did you did a Black Panther mask as well, right?
That's more of a portrait, so it's more intended to be a static model, not something you can wear, but it is of, his face and his claws.
Yeah.
I've been doing the portrait's been something I've been exploring more and more. So I started with Bob Ross, the Cool Story Bob emote on Twitch. And then I ended up doing Deadpool a few months later, which funnily enough, they ended up having a crossover. So I ended up actually combining my two models to do Deadpool Ross. Yeah, and then I did Black Panther.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and then I did Black Panther, and then my most recent portrait was of Ash Ketchum with like Pikachu on his shoulder.
Oh, cool.
So those have been really fun, and I think I'm gonna continue to do them because it's a fun, like, it's like a weird mix of like a 2D model and a 3D model. So, but it's a fun scale to work with.
I mean, do you have a dream, like a dream build that you wanna do?
Something I've wanted to do for a very long time is like a large scale, like spaceship, like I'm talking like something comparable to like a Star Destroyer, that I want to deck out with like a full interior for like the characters that would exist in it. So I want to have like bunks and command rooms and hangars and equipment rooms and, you know, cafeterias. Like, I want to do something where it's like all the elements that you would expect in the ship would be there, and have it so that like you could remove panels on the outside of the ship so you can go and see the inside. And like, yeah, so that's something I've always wanted to do, but it's definitely just continued to be a very intimidating idea, so I haven't actually really made a solid attempt at it yet.
Great. Des, do you have any questions? Because I could keep going, because this is like an alien thing to me, so I'm like, I'm so like,
I know, right? I mean, this is very interesting, but I mean, I actually just ended up going to your Twitch and following it, and I'm seeing like a thumbnail. Was it easy? I mean, was it easy as I think, or was it actually difficult to do like a model of an NES?
The NES was not that bad at all. That's actually designed to enclose. That model was specifically designed to enclose the NES Classic. So the NES Classic actually fits inside of that.
So you built an overshield for it.
Yes, essentially.
That's so cool.
But what's cool about it too is that I designed it. Like the panel opens where you'd expect it to for the cartridge, which has no actual function for the sake of the NES Classic. Yeah. But the buttons are actually functional. They actually have a rubber band behind them, and they're spring-loaded, and they're lined up with the buttons on the NES Classic. So you can keep it in there and turn it on and reset it. And then the portion where the controllers go is actually just like, it's not held in, connected at all, so it just slides out. So you can remove it to plug in the controllers.
Oh, that is so cool.
Yeah.
Because I saw that and it's like, well, I mean, I had to ask because it might be one of those things that's way more difficult than I think. But I mean, NES was like just
reasonably simple shape.
Yeah, it's a brick. I mean, it was just a lot of sharp
If I didn't
corners.
have to enclose the NES, I think I could make the build a little bit better. Like there's like the detail of like the grills on the top. Like there's definitely a better way I could do that, but space wise, it's not possible. So.
The fact that you built a shield for a system that works is cool enough, dude.
I know. It's the fact that it's functional. And
I'm just excited because I don't actually own the NES Classic. My friend has it, and this was for a convention we went to last year. But now they're re-releasing it, so I might actually be able to get my hands on it and make use of it.
Good luck with that.
It's just an empty shell right now, sitting here in front of me.
And you've, I mean, yeah, it's.
I mean, holy crap!
Yeah, good luck. Those things go on sale.
I hope Nintendo's smart enough to not make it a nightmare like it was last time.
Yeah, I mean, hilariously, Nintendo's one of those people. It's like, yes, we have $1 million idea. Let's only make like 1,000 of these. Wait, what?
Company.
We have something that when we released the teaser trailer, the teaser pic for it, people screamed, and we heard them scream.
Yeah, make 1,000.
Yeah,
don't we want to make like 10 million? No, 1,000 will do. It's like, excuse me. Sometimes I wonder, because Nintendo can make money, but it's almost like they don't want to.
It's weird. Yeah, they do that. Honestly, like one of the most disappointing things, like I guess throughout my life now, because it feels like it's just been forever. Like I just don't understand why Nintendo and Lego have not worked together, because I just feel like it's such an easy way for them to print money.
Oh, no, right.
And Nintendo refuses. Like I don't know if it's Nintendo or Lego or who's,
it's hard to tell. Because I mean, Nintendo are very strange Japanese people.
Yeah.
And
I don't know. And I do actually know for a fact that like they have both approached each other at some point in their history, and have still not collaborated. like I've actually seen because I worked at the Lego store, so I had access to some stuff on their on their servers or whatever, and I found documentation from when I think it was Pokemon Black and White was launching. Before that, people at Lego had like drafted out like designs and like sketches of like how they could do a Lego line for it.
Oh crap!
And I almost cried because like I've been a huge Pokemon fan my whole life, and obviously I've just wanted to see Nintendo stuff, and like to see that the effort was actually made and never went anywhere just like was crushing.
Yeah, because I mean it. Because especially like the classic looks of like Nintendo, like like the original Super Mario. I mean, it'd be like super easy to get Lego parts shaped like that, like super easy. Yeah, and you want to talk about selling too. Like I said, that's practically printing money at that point in time.
Yes.
I'm mad that there's not a Lego Link anywhere.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I built a Lego Link actually. Let me see if I have that somewhere handy for you.
In a weird way, that was a setup that I hope you took. I was like, please.
Oh, do you have the picture handy?
I do not, but I had a feeling that you would have made a link. I was like,
funnily enough, I didn't. Admittedly, I did not. I was too scared of Zelda as a kid to play it. As ridiculous as that may be, I had like the gold copy of Ocarina of Time on my N64, and I was too scared to play it.
That's what I was going to ask you. What version of Zelda?
So the only Zelda I've actually played is Breath of the Wild, which isn't like a bad title.
That's not a bad title at all. That's a very good. Zelda to play.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but there's I just dropped the Zelda in our Skype call. It's just it's actually based on the amiibo, so he's like probably reasonably close to the scale of the amiibo. I don't physically own the amiibo, but just studied some pictures of it.
That's really good. That's cool as shit.
Yeah.
Also, I get very. You made Lady and the Tramp. Jesus Christ.
Worked on a lot of fun stuff, and I honestly like again the stream has brought a lot of that. So the Lady and the Tramp was done as a viewer build request. So it's been cool to work on things I might not have worked on otherwise, thanks to people in the stream and suggesting ideas and stuff.
Pete, no! Come here. Peter?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's I think if my the missus would have seen that Ladies in a Tramp, she'd have been like, "Oh my god, that is so awesome." And then, do you do custom builds? What's the term?
Like commissions?
Commissions, yeah.
I really don't. Lego is a trickier thing to work with. It's not like an art print or something simple that you can just roll up and ship, or send a digital thing and someone can print it out. Or so, admittedly, I have not found a way to do it well, and it's also just like putting instructions together, finding ways to ship them so they don't get destroyed is incredibly time consuming. And then even just the design time for models, like if I actually put a number to my time and the amount of time I spend on models, I'm probably a relatively slow builder, and it would make it very unreasonable to buy those models. Yeah. So it's not something I'm doing at the moment, but I do sometimes, like for the Lady and the Tramp and like some other smaller builds, I will put like digital instructions together. So there's a program that Lego has called Lego Digital Designer. It's just like a free digital building program. So sometimes I'll build models in that and then like release those so people can, like, if they want to, they can go and break down how the model was put together and build it themselves.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay, so you could basically make your own Lego, like you could have your own Lego set that you made yourself. That's fucking cool as shit.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
But like that, so they used to have a way that you could actually order the pieces directly through that program. That was scrapped eons ago. But one nice thing is that website I mentioned earlier called BricknNick, you can actually export a Lego Digital Designer model to the website, and it'll break down that set into parts, and you can actually do an auto order essentially, where it'll just like find the stores that have the parts, try and find a nice combination between how many stores you're ordering from and how the cost of the parts, and it'll just like put an order together for you, and then you can just order the pieces.
That's like super cool though.
Yeah.
And we do have a question directly focused at your craft But Gorilla Golf asked, with unlimited bricks and time, what would be your masterpiece?
I will not deny a project I have briefly started before and not ever really gone any further than just getting it started. The Vault of Glass, I feel like, would be pretty incredible. So minus the ship that I talked about earlier, which I think is probably my ultimate project, the next one that would follow would be the Vault of Glass.
Like the whole thing?
I would aim for the boss room.
Okay.
Boss room.
I was about to say, because the whole thing would definitely be...
The whole thing would be cool. That could be done in micro scale within reason. I don't think I would ever have the gall to attempt a full scale model of the entire vault. It'd be doable in micro scale for sure, but
wow.
Yeah, I'd love to do like just a really nice like Atheon scaled to the minifigures. Have like all of the floating rocks.
Oh god.
And like the glass, archway at the back or all that thing.
Oh my god, Atheon would be crazy too.
Yeah. So the only thing I've ever done for that is I designed some of the Vex. Like I've built some of the Vex characters. I think I still have them sitting around somewhere. So I did like some. Oh my gosh, I can't even remember half their names anymore. It's been so long since I've been in the vault. What are the guys with the sniper rifles?
Hobgoblins?
Yeah, Hobbs?
Yeah, Hobgoblins, yeah. So I did some Hobgoblins. And, like, what I was going to do when I had started that build, I wanted to have it to be, like, all 3 time zones. So, like, I would do the left side as whatever it is. I can't remember if it's the past or the future. Side is the past. The middle would be just the current. And then on the right side, it would be done in the style of the future.
Nice.
There'd be a little bit of all of the phases of the battle.
Yeah, that would be... Whew.
So
yeah, that would definitely...
I think there's a chance I'll still someday just decide I really want to do it and go for it.
Dez's 5-year-old just screamed motherfucker.
No, it's just like...
Could.
Oh!
Funnily enough, one build I have sitting around that I haven't actually finished, I finished, I don't know, like 4/5 of it, is a like build of the Leviathan of the first raid from D2. Where I have like small, what I would call vignettes, so small scenes based on each encounter, and then a larger one for the final room with Callus. Callus is actually complete.
Did you build a Callus? Like, oh no, that is so cool.
And his chest lights up too.
Nice.
Yeah, but I haven't gotten around to actually designing the Castellum, because that's like just the main open room. I've ordered some pieces, but with my loss of interest in the game itself, I guess my loss of interest with finishing the build has occurred as well.
That's fair. I mean,
I think I'm like now aiming just like it'll be like, oh, finish it in time for like the 1-year anniversary of the raid. I think will be kind of nice. So it's probably what I'll do.
That's totally fair, because I mean, it's hard to keep a project going if your interest wanes. Like,
it was also definitely due to the fact that I just didn't have the pieces. Because as much as I love the raid, gosh, I hate how much gold there is in it, and gold is not an easy color to come by in Lego.
Oh, wow.
So it was like I just kept putting off like trying to order the parts I would need to attempt building it. So I now have them. It took me a couple weeks to get around to ordering them. Yeah. Or I should say probably a couple months, but.
And you would want your build to be, I don't want to say official, because that
Yeah, I've never painted parts or anything like that. So.
Okay, that was what I was like.
I could tell. I could tell you were leading into that.
Can you paint them like?
And people do, and oftentimes to very, very good effect. It's just not a line I've been willing to cross personally. Everybody has it's funny because someone's actually made like a heat scale or heat map of like Lego legalness and where people are willing and where they aren't, and how it increases and decreases in terms of like how far you've gone from being a legal build.
Yeah, that actually reminds me. Like I said, so many memories from a kid. But my brother, coming like talking about painting pieces, we would actually, I guess, for realism, because I was also a huge Ninja Turtle fan as a kid. Mm-hmm. And the only thing that really sucked back then is the fact that their weapons were like usually solid colors.
Yeah.
So my brother, who used to be into D&D and painting,
Oh yeah,
pewter, like miniatures, which me and my brother are like 12 years apart. So,
yep.
But yeah, he would paint these pewter figures. So we actually started painting their like weapons, like putting the silver top blades and stuff to actually get that effect.
That's cool.
So yeah, I can.
Yeah, and like there are people who love doing that kind of stuff. Like there's so many amazing like custom minifigure makers where they'll like just go ham in terms of like adding crazy amounts of detail that are way beyond what you would see from actual Lego minifigures. And I think that's fantastic. And like I would never bash anyone who does that kind of thing. But it's just not something I'm personally interested in.
Yeah, that's definitely like personal preference.
Yep.
Oh,
have you done any collaborations with people?
Sometimes,
is that a thing?
It definitely is. It definitely is. Like, so one of my upcoming events is a Lego convention in Chicago called Brickworld. I think this is my 6th year going now. I've been quite a few times, and it's definitely very, very common for there to be like group projects that take place where like people will coordinate things, and these are people from all over the world, right? So a lot of their coordination will just be online, and they'll like plan out like systems or how to make the builds modular, where they'll all work on individual components, and then they'll come together to display it all as one unified build, and that's always really, really cool to see. I can't really say I've worked on any like that recently. The only thing is, like, I'm part of a group called GamerLug, and this is me dropping another acronym on you. LUG stands for Lego User Group. So I'm part of a local one called ToroLug. I'm from Toronto in Canada, so I'm part of ToroLug. But there are also, like, online versions of those. So GamerLug is one of them. And I'll be displaying most of my gaming-related builds with them. So it's not necessarily like a collab, but we are going to be all, grouping a bunch of our gaming-inspired Lego builds together to be in one space at the show.
That's very cool.
Now, you said you're doing a lot of Fortnite builds.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any other games that you're interested in doing a build for?
I've done some Pokemon stuff for sure. I have to admit, it hasn't been much beyond Destiny and Fortnite. Overwatch. I finished a build not that long ago. I haven't gotten it up yet, but I did a build of part of Junkertown, if you're familiar with Overwatch at all. And I'm really excited to get them up. And actually, bringing up Overwatch, Lego has actually established a license with Overwatch. It's like the first time Legos
they're putting money on that one.
Crossed that line, because Lego's really never done any video game-inspired lines before, especially not one that's a shooter. Lego for years and years and years swore against ever doing anything FPS related. Even though I would say some of their movie franchises have been, had some fairly violent content. Way more so than like what you see in Overwatch. So that's really, really exciting, and I'm super pumped up to see what they're going to do with that. And
seriously, I mean,
who knows what kind of doors that could open too.
I mean, that would also explain why Destiny, I guess, went Mega Bloks for their official.
Yeah, funnily enough, when Blizzard made the announcement, like as part of that same announcement, it still says that Destiny's going to be working with Mega, which is slightly confusing. But I'm hoping that once Blizzard sees how much better everything does when they do it with Lego, maybe they'll reconsider their.
I mean, that might.
But it's really like Activision is all Mattel and Mega, and Blizzard's on the other side. So I think they're still keeping their things pretty separate. But we'll see.
Which actually is interesting, considering they're the same parent company.
Yeah, it's odd. It's odd.
It's
just shocking to me that they can have a contract with both companies at like the same time in a way. But I guess because they are still separate enough. Like LG and it's Blizzard. So
the fact I guess is the fact that they still operate as two different entities. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because even though they are owned by, I think, Blizzard or Activision Blizzard Activision, I can't remember.
Yeah, whatever it is.
I can't remember how they align the names in the parent company, but they still function as Blizzard and Activision. So I guess that's how they get around that.
Mm-hmm.
Which,
I
don't know, it's like very strange. Like when I found out that Blizzard and Activision were shared a parent company, it's like, what?
Yep.
Excuse me?
Yep. Talk about one big company.
I know, right? Like, holy crap.
Yep.
Just mentioning Blizzard is actually one of those things that makes me feel really old. Because I remember, back when, back when I was PC gaming, back in like 95, stumbling across
When I was 3
Warcraft,
years old.
war between humans and orcs, and it's like, this is like a really small company. Like, I've never heard of Blizzard before.
And now
it's like, McGurd.
They're a behemoth.
Yeah, they are now, and that's great, which
Yeah.
I was hoping the same thing would happen with another of my favorite smaller companies at the time, which was Westwood Entertainment, I believe. The people that were originally responsible for the Command and Conquer games. But they got fully folded into EA, I believe they were under.
Yeah.
So that kind of sucked, but yeah, well. So yeah, there's no more Westwood, which...
I loved Command and Conquer.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I've definitely lived in a time where I was a fan and saw the rise and fall of a studio.
Yep.
Which back in the day was actually kind of major, considering that was also the era where Activision liked video games.
Ooh, Des is dropping hot takes.
I mean, come on, they were the people responsible for MechWarrior. And then they sold it off to Microsoft, and it's like, why? MechWarrior is a huge title. And I bet you now that Titanfall's out, I bet you they're kicking themselves for that sell. It's like, wait, people are interested in giant mechs again? Crap!
Generally, people are always interested in giant mechs.
Yeah, when isn't there a good time for giant
There
mechs?
was an era where MechWarrior wasn't doing great. I mean, like I said, it has been a while since MechWarrior has... I mean... barring Gundam fans, MechWarrior was basically the West's biggest, giant mech franchise, essentially. But yeah, I guess it just kind of fell out over here. Because, again, Titanfall's out, and, I mean, you'd think with the success of Titanfall that MechWarrior would make a resurgence in some way. No. Thanks, Microsoft.
I mean, even with games like Anthem coming out, that's kind of, I guess it's mech light, would you say?
I don't know. I have a slight annoyance with Anthem.
Oh.
No. My only annoyance is the fact that I hate companies that make trailers. That's like, stay tuned for this trailer coming out this day. And it's like, why do you make a trailer for a trailer? I mean, honestly, come on.
Yeah.
The
big old tease.
The teaser trailers? Is that what you're talking? You don't like?
No, I'm literally talking. Anthem has a like an official trailer out that's telling you to tune in to a teaser trailer. That is the entire point of this trailer.
Really?
Is to say, yes, I've seen it on YouTube, and it's like, no, come on. It's like, really? You paid money to have a trailer. It's telling you to stay tuned for a trailer. Really? That's my only, and that's probably not even, that has nothing to do with, like, the devs at Anthem or even what Anthem's about or anything. It's just, who is it? It's EA. Or is it EA that has Anthem?
I think, yeah.
Yeah, I think it is.
So yeah, EA just, which is another, like I said, that's another gaming studio that used to like video games. God, it makes me feel so old, like going back and remembering like these titles, like because EA and Activision were like the go-to for like PC games and like pretty good games, and now it's like I don't know, times change.
Yeah, I have a feeling.
And then there's Nintendo still making Mario and Zelda games 20 years later.
Listen, they know what well hasn't dried up, okay? Because they're making Pokemon games still too. Remember that?
I mean, but at least Pokemon is like their newest out of those IPs. And it wasn't even a Nintendo invention, actually. It's Gamer Freak.
Gamer Freak. Nintendo just kind of like threw their hat in the ring. Was like, we're with you now.
We can make a game about this. Okay. But yeah, and actually it blew me away whenever Nintendo actually bought the rights and became the publisher for Bayonetta 2. Because anyone that knows Bayonetta, it's like, that's not really a Nintendo-style game.
That's not brand friendly.
But sure enough, they, like, yeah, it was very weird.
Bayonetta was the hair witch? Is that...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And she actually has slightly skimpy Nintendo-inspired costumes in Bayonetta 2. Like Princess Peach and Samus and things like that. Which, interestingly, like the developers for Platinum Games, the developers for Bayonetta, actually drew up these things. It's like, the concept for these costumes. Mm-hmm. And they sent them to Nintendo. But they were really nervous because they were like, it might be too skimpy. And apparently in some of these concepts, Nintendo's like, you can go a little further. It's like, no, we're good.
We are quite comfortable with not going any further.
Exactly. So that was actually a very interesting thing to hear from that.
If we go any further, what do you want? Boob out?
I know, right? It's like, yeah. So that's like a bit of mind-blowing information. It's like, this is a woman that like murders angels and demons and moans while she's doing it.
Nintendo. And
now it's a Nintendo brand.
See, I got Bayonetta reviews with Chainsaw Lollipop.
Oh yeah, well, okay, yeah, Chainsaw. It's probably like a worse playing, but even more sexualized.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that game was like, this is a game? I mean,
wait.
What's the point of this?
So, okay, why is her butt cheeks out? It's a bit.
I know, right?
That was my.
Why is the camera always like default precariously to have like an upskirt shot?
Yeah, this isn't even third person. This is like 1/3 person. But, Nick, are you interested in any games coming out soon?
What's coming out soon?
Oh my god, I will mention this because I think I found a game I might have to buy.
That's rare. Okay.
That was recently announced because it is like the most perfect thing. It is like, this is a game that I wanted to happen. I just didn't realize it. It's Jurassic World Evolution.
Oh.
What it is a Jurassic Park game.
Okay. You had me at hello.
Where you build and run your own Jurassic Park.
Shut the fuck up.
So it's basically Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Yeah. It's like Zoot Tycoon, but literally Jurassic World now. But
really smart.
Tell me about it. This like been the perfect game for years, and they're just now coming out with it, like officially.
It's shocking that it wasn't already a thing.
Tell me, but yeah, I saw that in like because I actually went through the pre-orders list yesterday or the day before, and it's like I saw that, and it's like, I might have to buy this because like. But yeah, you actually build and run your own island. You can apparently expand to other islands and like make it bigger. You can, the money you make in the park, you can actually spend for like digs, so you can find more dino DNA out in the world and bring it to your park.
Oh,
you can like engineer your dinosaurs to have like particular traits and stuff, and of course there's like the trailer shows off this tornado that comes through and like does enough damage to like, the power goes out. Triceratops gets out. And suddenly you have to send out a team to trank the Triceratops. Then after they show like that being covered, all of a sudden T-Rex gets out. And it's like, oh my god.
That was
it's like,
what I was going to ask. Does shit go downhill like in every inevitable movie?
Exactly. I mean, it kind of reminds me of SimCity in that regards, and the fact that it seems like there's natural disasters that's going to happen to like screw with what you do.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so, yeah. Oh, my God. Like, considering it's got the building part, it's got, the fascinating part of, like, the movie, and it's all apparently within, like, the Jurassic World, or Jurassic Park world. It, like, mentions using, like, the entire, like, movie's histories of like dinosaur like research and notes and stuff in this game. So, oh my god, it just sounds It's a game that I knew I wanted, but like you said, it's like surely they've done it before, but nope, they're doing it now though. It's like, oh my god.
Des, did you want to talk about the perceived leak that Gorilla Golf dropped for the September update, or do you want to wait till the 5th? Because I mean,
we can go ahead and speak about it now because come the 5th, it's going to be partially confirmed or denied anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, there has been a leak for like the D2 Year 2 reveal, the Comet expansion, which of course, every time a thing comes out for Destiny, leaks happen. Mm-hmm. Always. I'm not surprised at this point in time. I'm legitimately not. But yeah, apparently all the information, which, some of these leaks are actually kind of on point, because a lot of the old Gods of Mars leak did kind of come true.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things that it's like, in here there are some truths, but there's also a few red herrings to like.
Yeah, well, that, and it could be like maybe for the Warmind DLC, maybe they did plan on frames being a thing, but they couldn't implement them, so it became a Hive thing. Mm-hmm. Maybe that happened. Who knows? But either way, here's what we have apparently, as we know. So as this leak goes, the Comet expansion is called Summoning of Nine, and is being released September 8th, which I did not double check and confirm if that's even a viable date. June, August, September 8th is a Saturday.
That makes no sense.
Okay, so this leak just got discredited just a touch, in my opinion, because, okay, all right, the D2 leak was discredited a touch because it was released on a Tuesday, but, not a Tuesday, but like a Friday. But then it actually got released on Thursday or whatever, but either who, a lot of people are doing Friday releases now also, and a Tuesday, but neither here nor there. But yeah, September 8th, that's a weird date. Storyline revolves around Uldren resurfacing with an army of fallen soldiers to rescue his sister from the Nine. The Nine are forced to unleash the Nastoreth to stop Uldren's army, a brand new enemy race of void demons. The Nastoreth are led by Nezarec, the main antagonist of the expansion beside Uldren. Nezarec is the former 10th member of the Nine who was banished for betraying his brethren. The expansion's new raid is called Tomb of Eternity and revolves around stopping Nezarec for good. The Nine are met during the expansion's campaign, and you help stop Nezarec. There will apparently be 10 story missions, 4 strikes, 2 new destinations, the Reef and the Void. Brand new cooperative activity known as the Court. Details on this are scarce at the moment, but it's a brand new PvE activity new to the Destiny series. And, of course, the expansion is being officially revealed on Tuesday, which, hilariously, this came out after Bungie already said the information is being released on Tuesday. Or at least that's when I noticed it. So, yeah, a lot of this thing seems to be contradictory to me. Because it's it's Uldren versus the Nine, and the Nine summon Nezarec, but then you have to help the Nine stop Nezarec? I don't see how that makes sense. And how can they be the Nine with 10 members?
It's like 7 pieces of 9 or 7 pieces of 8 from the
yeah, but
the Pirates of the Caribbean. You know what I mean? But
an 8 was like a currency.
Yeah. I understand that.
But the 9, we've always been established the 9 have always been 9. There's been 9 descriptions of the 9. So to have a 10th member seems weird. If this is true, that's going to just be weird. And like I said, the whole thing's oh yeah, the 9 released Nezarec. Oh, oops, we didn't mean to do that. Guardian, you're going to have to help us put him down. Wait, what? Then why'd you let him out?
Also, the only contact we've ever had with the 9 are the emissary after we fight in Trials and Xur.
Yeah.
That's it.
So, a lot of this just seems to be kind of going in this weird circle. To be fair, the 9 are the people that were responsible for Skolas.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
Essentially. I mean, the Queen sent them Skolas as a gift, and then the 9 turned them back around and was like, go. Do your thing, kill of kills. Go for it. So, I mean, it would kind of make sense for them to release Nezarec to test us, but then it's like, oh, we have to release Nezarec to deal with Aldrin.
Yeah, I don't think Aldrin's a problem. Is Aldrin even is he a Guardian? Is he even a Guardian?
Oh no. He's a Reef Woken. Yeah, he's no Guardian. The Woken of the Reef are not Guardians.
Not all of them, right?
No, none of them.
Oh.
I mean, the Guardians, if they like awake near the Reef, they like go to Earth. I mean, the Reef Woken, as far as I know, are all non-Guardians.
Okay. I mean, well, the Queen was something, just not a Guardian.
Exactly. I mean, they found other means of like space magic. Yeah. But yeah, so this, I don't know.
I mean, also, is the Void a place? I thought it was more like a state of being.
Well, you see, that's the thing. The chances are the Void is going to be like kind of like Eternity, and like the Spire.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be like probably like that, maybe. I mean, Lord knows I don't know because I don't work at Bungie. But I don't know.
I'm gonna have to ask. I'm gonna have to ask Mylan. Send him a couple.
That and it sounds like a direct ripoff of Warframe that has the Void.
Also, it kind of sounds a little fan fiction, like a plot of a fan fiction.
This does. This legitimately sounds like almost everything people have been speculating about the comet, except for the Taken Coming.
Like you were sitting there looking through stuff, and you're like, "Oh, Nazarek's sin. Maybe he was one of the 9, and
I know, right?
And then maybe Aldrin shows up shirtless with a flanked by 3 spear wielding, 3-armed vandals, and then that's pretty much what it sounds like.
I know, right?
I mean, would it be cool? Hell yeah, I'll take it. Anything other than the Vex, I'm okay with. I don't like Vex.
I mean,
what?
I don't like Vex.
I love Vex.
I know everyone loves Vex, but I mean, a lot of this does like follow Bungie's like patterns to a degree, in the fact that introducing a new enemy race for Comet. I mean, they did it for Taken King. I mean, I say pattern, but we actually don't know exactly what this pattern is, because Rise of Iron, if you believe what was written, I mean, it was originally the base for D2, but then got canned, scrapped, rebundled as a D1 and expansion, whatever.
And they totally redeemed themselves, because that was the expansion everyone loved.
Oh yeah, I mean, but so yeah, so like I said, introducing like a new enemy race makes sense because they've had time to work on this. So that is totally believable. I mean, and essentially story-wise, there's only one of 2 places, really, that we're in, I guess, lore-wise, that would make sense for this comet to go, and that would either be dealing with Savathun and the Taken again, or getting closer to the 9. I mean, that is a logical step.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as the lore and story have been going, that seems,
To quote Double G in his next post about what would be the story that you want to hear told, and then he went, "I'm calling it now. Buster's going to say dragons. I would say Ahamkara, but we've already seen one."
I mean, sort of.
Yeah, kind of, right? In the weirdest, lightest way ever, but still, I thought it was super cool.
There is, of course, the theory that the worm gods are Ahamkara.
Well, yeah, no, that they're deep, the Ahamkara taken by the deep.
Yeah.
Whoa, hey, buddy. Hey.
Yep, Pupper Problems.
Oh, Pupper Problems. Hey, you okay?
He got his head caught somewhere.
Yes, he
did.
Or
got stepped on.
No, he got his head stuck in between the wall and the love seat.
Yep. I know that yelp.
Oh,
They lay
jeez.
ahead.
It scared
You
me.
play with, yeah, you play with Buster long enough. You know that yelp.
Yeah.
I mean, oh crap, I'm stuck. Get me out.
I have a big head. I'm sorry. Oh, buddy.
I thought I was a tiny puppy.
Yeah. Ooh, hey, you okay? You're not tiny anymore, buddy. You can't put your head in between little gaps and think you'll be okay. Oh, he's fine. He's trying to nibble again. He's fine.
But yeah, so I don't know.
You okay, bud? Okay.
But like I said, that and like a lot of this is very basic information. So, I mean, 10 story missions, 4 strikes might end up being true, or most likely. We'll probably get a new destination because, well, actually Bungie's been doing that a lot for every expansion.
Yeah.
I mean, as of D2, we've always had a new destination, which we actually haven't gotten before, come to think of it.
Normally, it's just adding on to the story, yeah?
Yeah, because the first time we actually got a new destination in D1 was Taken King.
Yeah, the Leviathan.
Yeah, but now we have 2... I mean, yeah, they're small, but at the same time, we
Did you
actually...
say the Leviathan? You meant the Dreadnought, right?
Dreadnought, sorry.
Yes, exactly what he meant.
I was like, wait, what? Yeah, and then Rise of Iron, we got the Plague Lands.
Yeah, so I mean, so the fact that, yeah, they're small, but at the same time, the fact that we got new destinations at all is kind of miraculous in hindsight. Which I didn't even think about that either until just now.
Thank you, Nick. I realized what I said. I realized when I said Leviathan because it was made from the husk of a worm god, and I'm like, oh, that's a big monster like a Leviathan. I could just say Leviathan. They'll get what I mean.
Yeah, you do listen to the show long enough. Buster tends to call out inaccuracies. I don't even correct him anymore because I know he knows at least roundabout what he's trying to say. It's just the wording's wrong.
Yeah,
like,
I totally knew what his intention was.
Exactly.
You're not like Buster has CTE. It's okay. The connections are good. It's just sometimes the output is wrong. And I thank everybody for not going like, you're super wrong. You don't know what you're talking about. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for that.
Yeah. So Nick, what do you think of this leak or whatever? I mean,
definitely sounds pretty interesting. I do agree that it's like pretty basic in what it's trying to say that it could be.
Yeah.
I mean, it all makes sense. Like, it's not illogical. It's pretty logical, next step for some of the content based on the lore in the game. I think we've been kind of overdue to see, what happened with the whole, the people from the reef. And so it'd be cool to finally get some more on that.
And apparently, of course, everyone is running with this leak story.
Yep.
I'm looking at you, Forbes. Like, quite literally, too. But yeah, so I'm not seeing, like... Because what I want to see is, like, a Reddit post breakdown of this. Because... And that's the thing, also, because normally, for these leaks, if it got taken down, it used to mean that it might have been true. But now that people know that...
They'll just take it down. They'll put it up. And
Exactly. It's like, oh, delete. Oh, it must have been Bungie. It must be true. So, I mean... we can't even like use that like as a definitive thing anymore. But I don't know. Like I said, it does seem very basic. Like I said, there's a lot of this that may make sense. The exact enemies may be different. It may deal with the 9. It may deal with Uldren and like Marasov. So I know a lot of people do want Uldren and Marasov, which also leads me to believe this kind of sounds like fan fiction. Because people really want Marasov back. Yeah. Like, really want her back.
I think if half of what we see is actual, I'll be okay. Like, going to the reef, I'm cool with. Fucking up Aldrin, I'm cool with. I hate that prick. He's basically the Awoken Joffrey. Fight.
He was supposed to be our homie, though, wasn't he?
He's never liked us.
No.
Oh, he's never liked us, but like he was originally supposed to be. Wasn't he supposed to be like the Crow guy?
Oh!
From like the early stuff.
Yeah. He was
supposed to be our homeboy.
He was like the uneasy, kind of maybe untrustworthy ally archetype. You know?
Yeah. He seemed
out in the wild. We talk with our guns. It's like,
He was supposed to be our Aragorn.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, he was going to be like our first ally, or one of our first allies. So, but yeah. You are right in like the original thing. And then for some reason, ever since then, he's just been like major douchebag.
Yep. Maybe this is his chance to redeem himself.
Or have us put him down for good, which is what I want.
Which, yeah, I know
don't
current.
like that dick.
Which, I mean, I know current theory is also like he's leading this new House of Fallen, which, considering they're attacking everything, it kind of leads. If that's true, then it leads me to believe he's still a douchebag. But then again, even that's not confirmed. I would like for parts of this to be true, just to see if Uldren is like actually commanding this entire new, Fallen House.
Yeah.
Essentially. So that would be. Like I said, there's parts of this I definitely want to be true, just to get like the confirmations or denials in the story wise on how things work. But I don't know.
Would that be the Fallen that we're already fighting? The purple?
Yeah. The guys in the purple.
Okay.
But like I said, I don't know. It's because I mean I want that answer for sure because this is a Fallen house we haven't faced before and was like non-existent. So.
Yeah, where did y'all come from?
Exactly. So it's like, why are you waving this banner that's not even like a known Fallen House banner?
I mean, what was Varric's? He was
House Judgment.
House Judgment. Okay.
Apparently the last of House Judgment? Question mark. But yeah, he actually remembers like old Elixni civilization and like law and such.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's like old world Fallen essentially.
So he's like the sage type.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, basically, because he would be he knew the most about like the Fallen and what they were, and I used to love the fact that he even had a line that's like, "You call them Fallen, they are from what they were." And it's like he always referred to like the Fallen as
Elixni, right?
No, I mean, like I said, like the Fallen that we've always fought, he never like associated himself with them. There was always like this distance in how he was speaking about them. It's like, these aren't my people anymore, essentially.
Okay, that's fucking cool. I forget so much of that because it's like, once Destiny 2 came out, I'm like, alright, I can put that away, that information away, but there's something you have to remember.
Alright, so our friendly water scientist boy Lazarus asks, if the above information regarding the September DLC is true, then what do you guys think the cooperative event will be, or do you wish it will be?
Is that when Gorilla Golf say dragons? Because I know he said something about me and dragons in there. I just briefly looked over it when I mentioned it.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know, because you see, here's the thing, because there's been rumblings of like just things that, because I think it was an Activision earnings call, made mention that the Comet was going to have an event or an activity that was never done before in a first-person shooter.
Interesting.
So I mean, part of this quote unquote leak, I mean, it's kind of like a duh situation because, I mean, earnings calls are apparently semi-public, So the fact that, like I said, everyone by now knows that this is a thing. It's like, yeah, there's a new activity. Okay. And it's like that, but that's all like we know is like, the official thing we know is like, it's never been done in a first person shooter apparently. And Activision is like really pushing that aspect. But other than that, that's all we know. And it will, for certain, like not be called The Court, because that is probably like an in development name. Like, if this leak is true, that's probably like an in development name.
Yeah, it's probably like a nickname they have for
Exactly.
Yeah, because The Court might be the worst name for an activity.
I know, right? Because I mean, yeah, we had Court of Orcs, but I mean, could it be a clue as to what it's like? But if it is, that means it's definitely been done in a first-person shooter before.
Yeah.
But I don't even know. I don't even know.
I mean, what would you like it to be? I think that's the question at hand, right? This dog is gonna drive me insane.
I don't know. Nick, thoughts?
Thoughts on?
Cooperative activity?
Oh.
Like, what do you think, or what will draw, what do you think would draw, like, I guess from your perspective, like, what this new PvE cooperative activity
You know
will
what?
be?
I have to say, especially not actually knowing what escalation protocol is, I'm a little bit at a loss of what to say. I would expect.
Well, yeah, escalation protocol, the basic way, I mean, escalation protocol isn't dissimilar from, like, Court of Oryx.
Okay.
Or the Archon's Forge.
Yeah.
Actually, Archon's Forge is probably the best way.
That's the closer
Gotcha.
analogy to it, is Archon's
Because
Forge.
you have to deal with waves of enemies,
Mm-hmm.
and then you get to a boss.
Okay. Yeah.
So, yeah, Archon's Forge is just in
All
a
right.
wide
Yeah.
public space instead of its own tiny little space.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm always curious to see what Bungie comes up with. So.
See, that's what I'm saying, because, like I said, knowing that this is something, at the very least, Bungie hasn't done in Destiny before, that throws a wrench in anything I can think of.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, if it's completely separate, I really don't know. Like, not something they've done.
someone was saying like a battle royal, and I'm like, don't do that. That's not. No, stop.
They
doing
have
that.
first
PvE,
person,
right? So
It had
that
first
immediately
person.
dismisses that.
Yeah, I know. Like, but yeah, because the leak is saying it's a PVE, and it's definitely new to the Destiny series.
I mean,
I don't know, because I mean, Destiny already kind of broke headway by introducing cooperative raids to a first-person shooter.
yeah.
So I mean, what else can they like revolutionize? Really?
I mean, could they do like a PvPE? You know what I mean? Like, you can do PvP, but make it also PvE. You know, like, put it in. You can shoot other players, but also the world's against you. Have they done that before?
Halo.
Okay, didn't play Halo. I didn't know that.
No, that's like one of the things. Like, I know it's in Halo 5, but it's like 2 or 3 teams. It's a huge map, but like you pick up these cards to get special weapons or whatever, and like you get points for killing enemy teams and like taking over objectives. But you also have like these big bosses in the middle that you can kill and get points for. So yeah, Halo's done that.
Okay. Bungie did it.
Actually, that was 343.
Oh, so didn't know that either. Okay.
Well, like I said, it's like it's either Halo 4 or 5, and at that point in time, Bungie separated from Halo.
Oh, okay. I was
But,
that was just the Simpsons did.
Which, I mean, also at the same time, like a lot of 343 is probably still old Bungie, so technically that could probably still be true, but either way,
Yeah.
neither here nor there. Yeah, I'm sorry, Laz, but we cannot answer this because, like I said, just the very little bit we know,
Isn't enough.
yeah, I can't, because everything I can think of, it's like, yeah, but we have that. Yeah, but we have that, and that's been done. Like, if Activision can actually be believed in the earnings call, then any idea I have is screwed. And I don't know what genre, like, to try and take from to put into this. I mean, what, the game becomes Dark Souls? I mean, that's never been done in a first-person shooter, like literal Dark Souls. Someone's going to call me out and it's like, there's this game that's like a first-person shooter. Right.
Yeah, it's called Agony.
Okay, but Gorilla Golf comes back. It's like, okay, you guys get to one storyline to redo in any game over the past 10 years. What is it?
A storyline?
Yeah.
Legacy of Kain.
To redo? No, as in, like, rewrite.
Oh, rewrite? Oh. No, Legacy
As
of Kain
in-
was... I thought it meant like...
Yeah, that's
I
like
thought
once-
you meant like re-release.
Yeah, within a game in the past 10 years, you can, like, scrap a storyline and redo it.
Oh, fuck, man. Nick, do you have one?
Nope. Nope. I have not played enough, even like story-based games. to even have an answer for that.
Mine's
Maybe
easy
the
way
original
out.
Destiny 1. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Mine's the easy way
D1
out.
could have used some love.
Yeah, mine's definitely like D1. I mean,
Yeah. Question mark? Yeah.
like make it a slightly more cohesive story,
Yep.
at least.
Maybe have some time to explain why you can't.
No, right? Yeah, Gorilla Golf says his is Osiris, which I'm pretty sure is referring to Curse of Osiris, which that's definitely a close runner-up.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. At least it was very like shallow.
I don't even.
Just say D1 too.
Yeah, fuck it. D1.
I mean, essentially, I mean that's.
Thanks, Nick. I was like,
I got you.
D. I mean, House of Wolves. If I really want to be specific, or maybe no, Dark Below. I would redo Dark Below.
There you go. Yeah. I like it. Looks like I don't know. Like I said, I just wish Vanilla D1 had a more cohesive story.
It just makes sense.
The plot points and everything were fine. It's just I just wish it was
disconnected.
Yeah, exactly. I just wish it was way more connected than what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, I didn't have much of an issue with like Dark Below or House of Wolves because the stories were contained within themselves and followed a line.
Mm.
But yeah. Like as far as things happening, that's D1 vanilla for me.
Yeah. Also, I'm just watching Pete put his head in a box and then get mad that his head's in a box. This fucking dog, man! I swear.
Also, we also kind of like skipped over somehow or another like upcoming games, which surely you guys
were talking about that briefly.
I know, right? Very briefly.
Welcome to RNG, Nick. This is what happens.
Yeah. So yeah, we had a huge announcement in what is becoming. I love the fact also on Twitter that Fallout Plays is getting like a lot of attention for knowing a lot about the Fallout series, and then people realize like, oh wait, it's in his name. Which I've also often wondered, is like, is he a fan of Fallout, or is that just a thing? And then him like spouting off this like knowledge, is like, oh, he's a fan of Fallout.
I geeked out.
Yeah, it was really cool. But anywho, the announcement of Fallout 76.
Vault 76. I think is what its title is, right?
Oh, no, it's Fallout 76.
It is Fallout 76.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. We don't know much about it.
It's a lot of speculation about what it could be.
Yeah, but apparently, according to Jason Schreier, which has not been wrong often.
Nope.
No, he has not.
He is saying that this is actually an online Fallout title.
Oh, yes.
Apparently. Some kind of online, which would actually fit in the grand scheme of things, because normally your classic Fallouts are numbered, like sequentially. Mm-hmm. But this is Fallout 76. And of course, there's a lot of memes and jokes. It's like, oh, well, do I have to play all the rest of the 75 titles to enjoy Fallout 76?
Yeah.
I'm looking at you, Ishtar Commander. I'm looking at you. It was hilarious, though.
That dude's been on fire recently.
I don't know, right? He's been great. But, yeah, it wouldn't make sense if it's like something new to give it such a strange title. Because it's like, Fallout New Vegas didn't follow the numerical things, because also, that was also the first time, like, your character... Well, actually, no, it was the second time. Technically, but this is the first time your character had, like, absolutely nothing to do with the vault.
Yeah.
Was New Vegas. Technically, Fallout 2, you didn't start in a vault, but you did start in a village that was started by your Fallout 1 protagonist. So you're still technically connected to a vault. But New Vegas was the first time, I believe, like for within like mainline series, that you're not connected to a vault. Because of course there's Brotherhood of Steels, which no one really played because they were awful. But you were like, you were Brotherhood of Steel members. So that's questionable vault status anyway. But also, this is like the earliest, apparently going to happen in the earliest, or in some of the earliest that we've ever witnessed.
2 years after
the Wastelands.
bombs.
Yeah. So this is going to be like, I mean, massively dangerous, because everything we've experienced has been like hundreds of years after the bombs went off, and they're still like heavily radiated areas. Like, what kind of like nasty crap is going to be out in the Wastelands? Like, holy crap.
Also, this is before the Master even... I think the Master was...
Well, the Master has... At this point in time, I think the Master is starting... Like, he's going through his own mutation and starting to tinker with the forced evolutionary virus. Yes, I am a Fallout nerd. As well.
Yep.
Because Fallout 1 and 2 were like some of my favorite like RPGs back in the day too.
If in the 2+ years we've done this podcast, we haven't become friends, Des, we are friends because of this, my friend.
Oh, I know, but yeah. So the Master may not be like a main figure. He's probably still hidden away in his vault, like still screwing around. So we may not actually see super mutants either.
No.
Like, that may not be a thing yet. At least not the Master super mutants, for sure.
We might see the first ghouls.
That's true, too. Like, ghouls will definitely be a thing, and I don't know, it's going to be interesting to see, like, early death claws, essentially. Because, again, with that much radiation, like, have death claws become less dangerous over the couple hundred years, or more? I mean, it's going to be interesting. But, yeah, Fallout 76 is going to be... Either way, it's going to be a hit. And it's a Bethesda game, so it's going to be full of bugs.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely crawling.
It's going to be like a fucking termite mound of
guys,
bugs.
those are features. Come on.
I actually watched, like I said, I'd never really played a Skyrim beyond Morrowind, because I had a love-hate relationship with Morrowind. I loved the game. I hate the fact that I spent a week of my life playing that game and then realizing, oh my god, I have done literally zero progress on the main quest.
Welcome to Skyrim.
Literally, yeah. Well, like I said, literally a solid week of like, I had to put like 50, 60 hours into it and realized I had not done like step 2 of the main quest.
You named your character and then that's it.
I named my character. It like points you to like the first thing, and it's like, okay, travel to this town. All right, cool. Oh, hey, what's this? What's this? What's this? What's this? And then a week later, it's like, oh my god, I have not even touched the story. Yay! So I kind of swore off of Elder Scrolls games because of that.
I love Elder Scrolls. A lot of people are mad that there's a new Fallout as opposed to a new Elder Scrolls, and I'm like, play online then. Play Elder Scrolls Online if you want to play it, because it's basically... I mean,
that is true too. That's probably their focus right now. That and Elder Scrolls is currently getting, or ESO is currently getting a new expansion. It's available for pre-order, Somerset Isle.
Yes. So
that's a thing that's happening.
Which is the homeland of the High Elves. I am such a nerd for this shit. I just realized. I was always wondering, like, why do I like Destiny lore so much? And I'm like, oh, because I like Fallout lore, and I like Elder Scrolls lore. That's why.
Like I said, that's why I was always a fan of like Blizzard Works, because no matter what, Blizzard always had. Like I said, the original Warcraft is a game that when I played, it literally had like almost a book for an instruction manual because of all the backstory they had for Warcraft. And I'm talking like, if you've seen the Warcraft movie, that is essentially like the information that was in the booklet of the original Warcraft in 1995, sort of.
StarCraft had, and they did the same with StarCraft.
Yeah, StarCraft, Diablo. I mean, they all had, like, the fact that Diablo when you play it. This isn't actually even the first occurrence of Diablo. This is like one of many. Mm-hmm. Like, the Blizzard's always known for like, and of course they still do the thing, like with Overwatch. Yeah, there was no single player when it launched, but guess what? Still had a crap ton of backstory and lore behind it.
Yes, it did. Yes, it does. One thing they did well.
Oh, for sure. But so Fallout 76. I mean, anything you're looking forward to, Nick?
I'm honestly mostly just D2 year 2.
I mean, that's fair.
Yep.
Like I said,
never played Fallout, so I have to admit there's not much interest there. Admittedly, my gaming time in general has just been like plummeting recently.
That's totally fair. Totally fair.
Busy with other aspects of life.
That is totally fair because I mean that, and chances are, I'll give this one. I mean, chances are you won't need to play Fallout or have played.
Yeah, I'm sure it would be something you can just jump into without.
Yeah, but I mean there are definitely going to be, because if it's anything like Fallout 4 in New Vegas, there's going to be a crap ton of nods that fresh players are not going to get.
Yeah.
Like at all. It's like whenever I was playing Fallout New Vegas and I'm picking that up, and the fact that it happens in the same area as the original Fallouts, I actually freaked out with my first encounter with the NCR. Because that was a faction, like in Fallout 1 and 2, you essentially help build in the game. So seeing like how they've been since then, it's like, ah!
Yeah, you guys really messed up everything I started. Way to be a fucking dick, guys.
It's like, why are you douchebags all of a sudden?
Yeah.
This coming from the people that came from Shady Sands.
I mean,
your first president would not be proud of this. And now I can't find the pre-order section in this freaking menu. Because I know there was something else.
Vampire?
Oh yeah, Vampire's still still coming out. Okay, there it is. Found it. Pre-orders. Mega Man 11.
Yeah.
Mega Man 11 is actually looking pretty good. For those...
What's that going to be coming out on?
Everything?
Everything?
I assume.
Yeah.
I mean...
And it is... I mean, it's a $30 game, so it's not full price. But I mean, if you ask me, it might still be a little pricey for a Mega Man game. But it does look pretty cool in the fact that they are introducing a new system in it. Something about double gear, like you can like slow down time and super duper charge your Mega Buster with like somehow. So that's cool and interesting. I didn't realize Shadow of the Tomb Raider was actually coming to PS4 as well. I thought they might have had like a exclusivity thing with Xbox again.
No.
But I guess not. Oh yeah, Somerset for ESO.
ESO is free, right?
No, not at all.
Is it a subscription? Like
it is a like $60 base game plus. I mean, okay, after base game, yeah, it's free.
Okay.
But yeah, you have to put down for ESO.
Okay.
So.
Well, I was okay. I'm okay with, getting it. I
Yeah.
didn't know if it was one of those, you have to pay per month.
No,
Okay.
you don't have to. There's definitely a free option, and of course there is subscription options as well. But yeah, it's like after the game buy, it's free from there. Of course, it's more advantageous to have a subscription, but I mean that's just advantage beyond that. The only thing else I'm really saying, I mean, they announced Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Yay!
I mean, I'm happy it's going back to boots on the ground and giving me my shield back because, everybody knows that I started playing shooters because of Black Ops 2. So, going back to the original, the game I know and love makes me feel good inside. I'm going to kill this fucking dog. I am. Gotta kill him. I'm going to kill him. I'm going to mute, and you're going to hear no noises after this.
You're going to hear nothing, apparently.
I know, right? Then I guess the biggest thing that's coming out on PS4 also is like the Spider-Man game.
Oh yeah. That was like so hyped for a while, and then I just haven't seen jack about it. But I guess E3 is going to be.
Oh yeah, most likely.
The hype train's rolling.
I mean, it's releasing in September, so yeah, they're definitely probably going to finally like show some more stuff about it.
I didn't kill the dog, I promise. He's just I laid him down. Now, Des, I know it's been a long time coming, but I think I would like to see Nick make. Okay, guys, warning here. Here it comes. Here's your Paladin's warning. I think Nick could make the shit out of Fernando's Fire Lance as a weapon. You know, the weapon out of Legos, because it's kind of, it fits well. Or maybe even Torvald's hand.
Let's see.
Huh?
Hang on.
Paladins is a game very similar.
No, I know Paladins. I know of the game.
Okay.
I know of it.
The character.
I've never played it or watched it or anything.
Yeah, the character Fernando. Let me see if I can get this image right here and toss this into our Skype chat real fast to get a reference for like the character.
And the segue goes because they're doing another event.
There we go.
Oh yeah.
And that is Fernando as a character. And like his lance is a flamethrower.
Yeah.
I mean, literally.
No, that's definitely some Legoable stuff. I'm not going to make any promises that
No. That was just a really awesome segue for me.
Yeah.
So we can talk about the update to Paladins coming.
Yeah, because Paladins, I mean, like I said, it's very Overwatch-esque. It is. Which actually, hilariously, I actually watched a video. Like, Paladins and Overwatch are like twins separated at birth.
Uh-huh.
Because, no, I did not realize that even Paladins in super early development started as an MMO. Just like Overwatch. It was going to be a fantasy MMO.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, like I said,
I didn't even know that was the case for Overwatch.
Oh yeah, it was Project Titan, I think it was.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, I've heard that actually.
But yeah, it was an MMO, and actually I found out a lot of information about that too, where it was kind of like a superhero MMO, where like you played a character during the day, but like you moonlighted as this hero, like thwarting crime and crap, and fighting other people and stuff. Super interesting concept, but
so you actually become that's like Bruce Wayne Batman. That's pretty cool.
Sort of. I mean, it's like that, and like a lot of the classes from that, like the fact that Genji and Hanzo were like the exact same character, literally, because Genji actually had a mechanical arm that transformed into a bow as well as his blade and shuriken.
Oh wow.
But yeah, like I said, the same is actually true for Paladins in the fact that I mean, Fernando had a sword originally. But like his charge move and a bunch of stuff were the same. Cassie, there was prototype Cassie in there, which makes sense online when she was originally introduced as a bow character. She actually did not have what is now like the charge up, like staple of bow characters now. She was just a pull back and fire, which is why they changed her to a crossbow now. But yeah, it's like I said, it's like these two games like went with such similar like design paths. It's like super weird now. But Paladins is adding a new support character in Furia, Angel of Vengeance. Which her design looks really cool. But anyway, they're also giving like a lot of backstory. Like a lot of backstory in this event. And the fact that they have a support character called Saris. Kind of explaining for Nick's benefits and any new listeners we may have. Saris is this weird, like, dark, creepy chick. And her backstory is essentially that she took the name, like, as her own name, she took the name of the village that she destroyed when she first set foot on the mortal plane. And that's Ceres. But now we actually get this backstory because the next Paladins event covers what happened in the town of Ceres, and the fact that there was a portal to the void, and the magistrate was going to sacrifice one of two sisters to the void. Now, Sister A was completely okay with this, accepting her lot in life. Sister B didn't like this one bit. So she went into this church temple or whatever, prayed to the pyre of something or another. I can't remember the name.
I think it was just the pyre is what we called it, right?
Yeah, something like that. But she was basically requesting for strength to fight against the magistrate, to fight against the void, to fight against everything. So as the magistrate is getting ready to sacrifice Sister A to the void, they realize too late that the void is not looking for a sacrifice. The void is looking for a host. Mm-hmm. So they toss in Sister A, and the void, takes over Sister A, destroys the village, and becomes Ceres. Sister B's the only other survivor of the Ceres incident. Her prayer is answered by the pyre, and she becomes Furia, Angel of Vengeance, with enough strength to fight against everything.
And she, it's funny how both the sisters are supports.
I know, right? But it's also hilarious that they took Fury is also the first instance of them taking an ability from Smite and adding it to Paladins.
Oh, that's a smite. Oh, there's a smite ability. She has a smite ability.
Her beam of light actually belongs to Ra in Smite.
Oh, okay.
It makes him kind of a skill gap because it's a lot of damage, but it travels in one straight line. So it's a skill shot. They have to stand still to get max damage and a lot of that stuff. But yeah, that's totally a Ra ability. And the fact that she heals like Genos somewhat, and the fact that it's like a mark that deals it's burst healing and then healing over time. She looks really interesting though. The fact that she uses a flaming gunblade, essentially.
That's what it looks like to me. I mean, that's exactly what it is. It's a flaming gunblade. Yeah.
Her ult is kind of like Mercy's new Valkyrie ultimate, but shared by the group. Essentially, it's like your entire team moves and shoots faster, I think. Something like that.
Isn't it a damage buff as well?
Could be. Crap if I know.
Okay, hold on. Hold on.
I don't know fully. Because I did read through. The event is like their last event in the fact that, of course, it's a high-res event, so you're going to need to buy chests and things to get the skins associated with the whatchamacallit.
Okay, Des, I got the information. You channel the pyre and become untargetable for 2 seconds. Afterwards, you and your allies within 150 feet gain 30% bonus damage and 30% movement speed for 8 seconds.
That's massive. 8 seconds is a long time. Holy crap. And you are untargetable for 2 whole seconds? What the crap?
Also,
that's gonna be shenanigans.
Also, the new event is Escape the Abyss.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's like it's like a race, essentially. Mm-hmm. And by essentially, I mean literally, because you're supposed to climb the spire. And the spire is, actually, this sounds like a Destiny section, for sure. Because it is legitimately a platform section. Because you're jumping on platforms, and they increase your movement speed and your jump height in order to do this. And it is you versus another team to get to the top of this spire. At the top of this spire, it becomes a death match. But if you reach the top of the spire first, you get bonus ultimate charge.
Also, they have abyssal shards.
Yeah, that give you bonus ult and crap, and so yeah, it does seem to follow like the last, and the fact that the players will be assigned random champions. And both teams are comprised of the same champions. The climb, the fight. There's event quests. There's, of course, awesome-looking freaking skins. A risque Maeve. Androx looks dope. That Tyra.
Also, the Archangel Tyra.
That's what I just said.
Oh, sorry.
Just mentioned Tyra.
I thought you said Maeve. Sorry.
I did mention Maeve. But also the fact that Drogos, this is like, so Lord Drogos. Oh my god, I can't even play Drogos. And that looks amazing. But, yeah, so those are the things that are coming. And, I mean, it's pretty freaking awesome. It's just sad that with me playing D2 so much, I have not had much time to play Paladins.
Yeah.
I do have my Mega Man Ruckus skin, though.
Oh, did you get it?
Yeah, I bought the Battle Pass, and I have my Mega Man Ruckus skin.
Nice.
Like, I had to get that. Had to. It's a requirement. And it's great. I love it. Ugh.
I need to strap down and stop playing Destiny 2. That way I can get in.
Well, actually, I kind of cheated to get it. Because I did get the Season Pass, which gave me the 1,500 crystals. Totally bought my Battle Pass levels.
Well, I mean, that's fair.
Which I accidentally went way too far. I meant to buy up to Ruckus. Accidentally bought up to
Grok?
the Genos.
Oh, the Genos.
So I had Ruckus and Genos, but oops.
Well, you play Genos, so you'll...
I do. I was gonna settle with buying up to Ruckus because I really, really, really wanted Ruckus, but I was okay with missing out with everything else. But I didn't quite realize how far I was going, and it's like, oh,
oops.
All right. I mean, I'm still fine with this.
For a penny in for a pound, sir.
Yeah, that's essentially. But yeah, that's going to be... Fury is going to be really cool. She's going to be... About guaranteed, she's going to be busted by release. You're going to need to balance her.
Ooh, yeah.
For sure. Oh. But yeah, I mean, being this freaking Valkyrie angel, archangel thing that summons light to fry your enemies and launches fireballs and crap, and it's going to be fun. The sisters might actually be my support mains. Legitimately.
Yeah.
Because Ceres is already, kind of overshadowing Genos, and the fact that Furia might be a slightly better healer than Genos with, slightly more offensive abilities, because I like Genos, but the fact that Genos doesn't have too many offensive abilities, it's kind of meh for me. But, she has more, getaway tools, and, in fact, her getaway tool is, launches out, she does a backwards air dash that launches 3 fireballs that tracks enemies. So what kind of crap is this?
A lot like Leanne.
Yeah, she has just so much utility attached to her that's a little ridiculous, and I feel like I'm gonna love her. Like I said, she uses a freaking gunblade. Come on, I mean, it's a sword that shoots fire, literal fire. Mm-hmm. That's not lingo for she has 6 bars. She is literally, it's a sword that spits
God
fire.
Damn it, Des, I love you so much. Just because when you drop things like that, it makes me just go, God damn, I love this guy. He is. We are best friends.
But yeah. So,
okay, so there goes the Paladin.
Yeah, there's Paladin stock. Again, it's launched. It's free still. There's rotating champions. There's the champions pack and crap. There's hey, there's all that nonsense.
Yeah. So, Nick, thanks for sitting with us through Paladin stuff.
No worries.
Right.
We all have our passions.
Also, we know that can be a struggle, especially for guests, because it's it is the lesser known of hero shooters, and it's
it's a game people still enjoy. So
yeah, I just feel so bad because we talk about it and guests just go all quiet. And it's oh my god, that's why I try to make it quick.
But yeah, Nick, if you were to do a I don't know, a weapon build, that would be super dope. Just
legitimately Flamelance would be pretty cool, but that's
Whew. If I ever get into Paladins, admittedly, it's very rare that I do anything from something. I'm not playing myself.
And Hi-Rez is coming out with a Paladins-esque Battle Royale game, so it's actually in alpha right now.
Yeah, I think I've caught one or two friends trying it.
Yeah, there's like I said, it's early alpha right now. It seems like they're still trying to peg down exactly how they want to do it and still be, I guess, original in the genre, somewhat. I guess.
Well, from what I've seen, they're doing pretty well.
Yeah, they're doing all right. I mean, the Forge system seems really, because for those that I guess don't know, the Realm Royale. See what they did there. They have you picking up weapons that are based off of Paladins characters. So, of course, if you play Paladins, like, oh, this is Genos' SMG and Tyra's rifle, whatever. But also abilities based on... You actually get to pick up abilities to use. Like massive jumps, teleports, heals of various kinds, fire bombs, stuff like that. So this is actually going to be a somewhat ability-based battle royale. You can break down weapons to create shards. These shards you can take to forges and craft legendary or epic gear. There is, like, of course, an armor system very somewhat similar to PUBG. And then, like I said, the abilities are really going to, probably going to be the hardest to balance out of it. And probably make it, the most unique feeling, I feel. Because, yeah, there's a bunch of crazy crap in Fortnite, but, that and the jetpack in Fortnite actually seems pretty awesome.
Isn't there, a shopping cart now?
Oh, yeah, there's a shopping cart. Jesus, I forgot about that. Legitimately, Epic is, hitting a stride with Fortnite. Sweet Christ.
Yep.
The Thanos mode looked ridiculous. Oh, my God.
It's funny because I haven't played since they released the jetpacks, and I think I tried the Thanos mode once.
Yeah, Thanos looked freaking ridiculous, but it looked like a really awesome, take.
Oh, yeah. I think
on
so.
it.
So, for sure.
But yeah.
So Nick, what? Okay, question: do you watch a lot of shows, TV shows, or are you more of nope?
Nope.
Okay.
That's fair.
Yeah. Honestly, most of my content consumption is Twitch.
That's totally fair because there are a lot of sadly, video games get in the way of my Twitch watching. Oh Christ! Yeah.
Yeah. Now that I'm not doing as much gaming, it's definitely my procrastination comes via Twitch.
That's fair.
Because it ain't hard to pop a tab open and pretend to work on something else, and then just get sucked into watching streams.
Legitimately, I watch Netflix very rarely. Not rarely, but when something interesting happens, I'll binge watch it on Netflix. Mm-hmm. But beyond that, it's my entertainment consumption is YouTube and Twitch.
Yeah.
That's it.
I will. I'll throw this out. I don't even have Netflix, which most people are like.
That's fair. But we actually got rid of our cable and picked Netflix back up recently.
Yeah, that makes most sense to me currently.
Yeah, because we had cable, but we were so very rarely watching it. It's why don't we just get Netflix? It's all right.
Yeah, that's I am within seconds of doing that myself.
Yeah, legitimately between Netflix and Hulu, you honestly don't need cable.
Yeah, and not to mention that the missus has Amazon Prime, so we get the Amazon as well.
Exactly.
So, it's not like you're missing out on anything.
Yeah, because we definitely have Prime for, you get Prime for the free shipping.
Absolutely.
If you shop Amazon...
You're silly not to have Prime.
Okay, if you shop Amazon, if you order things from Amazon at least twice a month, Prime is worth.
Yep.
Free 2-day shipping... Prime is worth if you shop Amazon at least twice a month. If it's more, it's even more worth. Trust me. But we go through, we order, there's a lot of stuff we get off Amazon. We order probably about twice a month maybe. And then the fact is but then you get Prime videos. Cool. Prime music. cool.
Which part?
3 free audiobooks, actually.
Yeah, audiobooks is like awesome. And then they connected it with Twitch. It's like, so you get a free, you can subscribe to one channel a month every month, just basically on Amazon's tab.
Yep.
And that, content provider gets the full benefit of having a sub without you having to pay anything extra. And then they have a bunch of people like Fortnite and Warframe, and here's free crap. Paladins too. Like, here's free crap just for having Twitch Prime.
Yep.
So it is like, if you're an internet savvy individual, you should have Amazon Prime.
Agreed.
Like, it is almost a necessity.
Yep.
And even if you can't come up with the bulk, how much is it a year?
110.
Yeah, if you can't come up with that, it's $10 a month. They actually have a monthly payment plan. So yeah, if you can come up with a bulk of 100 some, because I understand budgets. I definitely understand budgets and crap like that. But so yeah, so if you can come up with $110 on the spot, $10 a month.
Yep.
Way more manageable until you can at least try and set back 110 and get the benefits of a yearly thing. But other than that, it's like, why? I mean, there's especially with the monthly plan that they've added, it's like, there's no reason not to have Amazon Prime. None.
No, it's fucking incredible.
So, like I said, I'm actually kind of surprised cable companies aren't starting to dwindle. It's probably because of internet, but yeah, the fact that I'm surprised cable TV is still surviving, because there's just, like I said, between Amazon, Netflix, Hulu, which all in all is $30 a month, which is probably your average basic cable bill.
No.
I mean, average. I'm talking national average. Because I think our lowest package might be 30, 40, 50 a month for cable, maybe. I can't remember offhand. But yeah, I'm just saying, for that price, I mean, you're getting a lot of crap.
Yeah.
And because it's internet and video on demand, it's convenient.
You can take it with you.
God, this sounds like an ad.
It does.
I was literally just thinking that.
I know. Amazon, what's up? Sponsor us. We won't deny it.
I mean, as much as I talked about Altered Carbon on Netflix.
I know, right? It's like, we talked about that almost as much as Crucible Radio, and they are sponsored.
Yeah.
That was an ad. But yeah, seriously, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon. We use your
Crackle?
I don't use Hulu. Yeah, I don't use Hulu personally. I think they can use some improvements. But I mean, Amazon, Netflix, I believe in your product.
I'd like to hear why you think Hulu needs improvements, but that's it's neither here nor there.
Their extra devices, like network or access or whatever, their archive for non-website viewing needs more in the library, in my opinion.
Okay, yeah, I can I can see.
Other than that,
yeah.
Yeah, other than that, I'm completely down with Hulu. It's just their everything but website viewing is kind of lacking.
Okay. Like I said, I can understand and see where you're coming from. So
yeah,
I can't argue that.
I mean, Hulu at its best is from website because they have all their options there. But I mean, if you're trying to watch on your PS4 or your phone, those options are cut almost in half.
Yeah. The website, it's we have all this, and then you go on your PS4 or your phone, and you're like, where did all that? I started watching this.
Yeah, it's where did this go? Mm-hmm. What is this? But yeah.
But then I started rewatching. Well, I started watching again, I should say, Spartacus.
Yeah.
The missus and I started watching it a while ago, and then we just kind of fell off of it. It was one of those things it stopped. Probably because it's really, it's sad, but what happened was the first season, the actor who played Spartacus, I was like, yeah, this is my Spartacus. And then he got cancer and passed away. And they did a second season, with another character and one of the side characters focusing, and I'm like, this show's not called Crixus. And then, they brought it, and then they brought another. They recast.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to catch up now and be like, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah. My wife actually started watching Bates Motel on Netflix.
You see, I was really. My dad watched that a lot, and he loved it.
Yeah.
And I know it's about Psycho, the Bates Motel. Obviously, it's Psycho with Norman Bates and all that. But other than that, I'm just totally off. Of what
that's literally what it is. It's the prequel to the movie. Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho is kind of how it's billed.
Okay, so spoiler
and in fact,
if you haven't seen Psycho, is the mom still alive? I'm taking it, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's Norman as a small child. I mean, not small child, but it's like a teenager.
Okay, so you get to see him go. You get to see his insanity build and all that.
Yeah. Like what leads up to Psycho is what this is, and like they're like, as far as I've watched, they're like starting to build towards that like really hard. Yeah, they're like really starting to show that. Okay. So it's going to be interesting from here. And apparently, also like I said, Masters. I mean, I think it's done. Yeah, it's definitely done now, but I'm pretty sure, right? It's over.
Yeah.
Like it's not syndicated anymore.
Yeah. Well, I think it's syndicated because there's over 100 episodes, right? But I don't think it's airing new.
There we go. That's what I meant. But yeah, I think it's done. But apparently the final season is a loose adaptation to the movie Psycho.
Oh.
But yeah, so, yeah. Okay. That's what I heard. So that's going to be interesting. But then again, like I said, if you watch Psycho, or if you know anything about Psycho, you kind of know where this series is heading. So, but it is pretty cool. I mean, it's not bad. I like the actors. The guy playing Norman, for so many episodes, he looked so familiar. And I realized what I was recognizing him from was he was Charlie Bucket in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory with Johnny Depp. And it's like, wait, really? That's why I recognize this kid? Holy crap. Okay, that's fair.
Damn, Charlie, things went rough for you.
Seriously, things took an extreme left.
How many times have you said, cheer up, Charlie? Be honest.
Maybe a couple times.
Yeah, see, I know.
That's like when I was playing PvP in D2. I was playing some PvP. And for a few lobbies, there was a guy with a gamer tag, "Hey buddy."
Hey buddy.
Exactly. So every time he'd pop up in my feed, it's like, "Oh, hey buddy." Mm-hmm. Blah. Oh, hey buddy.
Yeah. You can't have a very punnable screen name.
So yeah, shout out to Hey Buddy on PSN because God, it was I'm sorry for my retrofuturist shotgun plays, but I'm really starting to love that shotgun too. Anyway,
the retrofuturist?
Yeah.
Huh.
It has like really high handling. It feels really snappy and good, like to aim and like to pull out. It was on the recommendation of course, Crucible Radio. At least I think it was retrofuturist. By the way, it has like really high handling. So it like readies and aims very, very fast, and it feels very snappy and cool. It's like it might be bringing me back into my shotgun mentality. So yeah.
Right on.
I've just been having a lot of fun with it. It's like I actually shut down a Dawn Blade.
Oh, nice.
From full health. I mean, he popped and like, oh, Dawn Blade. Here I am, just skate through. It's like, all right, hey buddy, bam, melee, done. It's like, I lived.
Also, Nick, what class do you play? Do you main? I should say
Hunter.
You main Hunter?
You.
See, I knew you had good taste. I only say that because there's so many people out there that take that so seriously.
I really don't see why it's such a big
Me either.
Just play what you enjoy.
Seriously, I mean, it's so weird because there's so many people. It's like, oh, hunters are the worst. You must suck. It's like, hey, you didn't say that for D1 vanilla.
Also,
yep.
In fact, what most people were saying about hunters D1 was like, oh, they're so dumb. They get 2 Slayer supers. Oh my god, why do you one shot from across the map with Golden Gun and then Dark Blade just goes through everything? Oh my god.
If I don't have a hunter in the when I do heroic strikes, I'm like, fuck, this is gonna suck a little bit. Because to be honest, Hunter is my worst class because I don't play it as much, but I know that they're useful, and I can see like
no matter what subclass, Hunter has a thing that does something very well in PvE.
Yep.
You want boss damage? Celestial Nighthawk Golden Gun, or just top tree Golden Gun. In general, does great damage. Ad control, Arc Strider all day. You want orbs? Duh. Night Stalker.
So
Orpheus Rigs? Pfft, orbs for days.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean,
when I did my heroic strikes this week, I just jumped into a random group, and there were 2 Celestial Nighthawk Golden Guns, and it was a solar burn.
yeah.
So I was like, well, I'll just be over here.
Yeah, the rough part of those strikes are basically getting to the boss. Once you get there, just pop, pop.
That's what it was. Pop, pop hammers.
yeah. I mean, that's
everything went
Oh,
down.
and the hammer, like, I'm starting to actually get like a supreme love of hammers for PvE. Like, friggin' the Galler hammers. Oh my god. Those are so strong.
Trademark patent pending.
Oh, yeah, they are so super strong. Especially now. Like, especially with Solar Stinge, man, I'm actually starting to just run the Galler hammers in PvE because it's like, why not? It's like, holy crap.
I mean, as much as I'm a defender, I'm also very formidable with the hammers because that's what I run on when I do raid on the small
And hammers is just hammers are a strong choice in raid too, because I mean their damage, like in situations, their damage is almost like can be comparable with Celestial Nighthawk hunters. So I mean, yeah, like hunters is right up there. I mean, warlocks just need to kind of step up a little bit. I mean, you got your rift, and that's great. I love you for your rifts, but I mean,
they're getting there.
That and Lunafaction boots. Oh my
god! I was gonna say it.
We ran a raid. So I ran a raid, and we got 2 Callus, and one of the people in the Shadow Realm was trying out Lunafaction boots.
Just stand in the raid. Just stand in the rift.
I almost ran out of ammo, which actually really sucked. Because we went back into the Shadow Room, and it's like, oh, I have like little to no kinetic now. Crap. But yeah, it's like just stand fire for so long. And there's that video that was like Lunafaction boot warlocks and like 6 Suros regimes, absolutely melting Callus. Like, oh my god! And that's all they used was Suros. I think with firing up,
they were spinning up.
Yeah, I think spinning up was what they were using, but it was like 6 Suros, 3 plates with Lunafaction boosts, and just kept firing and firing. It's like, you just see that health bar whittle down. It's like, oh my god.
I mean, there's ways now it's ridiculous. Like, the
amount of options, thanks to I can't wait for, the next month?
The next pass of exotics?
Oh, yeah, and see, like, if they're going to do more than 6, or, like, just seeing what they change and what they bring up. Because, like I said, and oh my god, having Radiance back with Sunbracers, so fun. Because I don't know if you know, Nick, but the one thing that they brought in change is now Sunbracers, whenever you kill an enemy with a powered melee on a Solar Warlock, for, like, 6 seconds, you get unlimited grenade energy.
Whoa.
Which... it takes about a second to toss a nade. So if you don't have a grenade like at the ready when it starts, you can throw like 6 nades.
Yeah.
Just across the map.
Wow. And it refills your nade energy if it's down.
Yeah. But you only get 5 because you have to have that wait to get your first nade energy back full.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the return of Radiance in sort of. And, yeah, it's great, and I cannot wait to see. Like I said, these changes are one reason. It's like, yeah, people, go ahead and come back now. I mean, things are getting real fun. But like I said, I still understand. The wait for September because September is going to be massive. Hopefully, I do say it's going to be massive because hopefully history will repeat. I'm hoping, but at the same time, I still don't want to hope too much.
Yeah, no, keep expectations.
Exactly.
Temper expectation.
Exactly. I'm trying to keep it like low key, but at the same time, it's like I said, Bungie has a history of correcting things very, very well. But we'll see. We'll see how this goes. We'll definitely see.
All right.
Yep.
Des, you have any final statements or thoughts before we close out? Any hot takes?
That's about it.
Okay, cool.
Hot take, screw you, Buster, for posting the picture of the Niflheim Frost you got.
Hey, man.
Love you too, buddy.
Hey, man. It's a trade. It's a trade. I'm just saying. That thing popped up, and I was like, yes, Winter Wolf. And it popped and it said, Niflheim Frost. I'm like, Des is going to hate me.
Yeah, I'm going to send him a picture of it in Discord.
Well, yeah, of course I am. It's gentle
It's
ribbing.
fair.
It's gentle ribbing.
It is. It's fair. But I saw it, I was like, oh, you know, I'm not even going to acknowledge this right now. Screw you.
Nick, thank you so much for coming on and talking with us and showing us
Happy to.
your cool ass creations.
Yes, for sure.
Oh, thank you.
And please tell people where they can find you and your amazingness.
I am pretty much everywhere, primarily on Twitch. My name on there is BricknNick, BRICKIN Nick. I also have some stuff on YouTube. I'm always on Twitter and posting on Instagram and, you know, just hanging out in streams on Twitch all the time.
For sure. Great. Like I said, yeah, that's awesome. Like, everyone that has an inner 5-year-old, go there. Do it.
Yeah.
I will definitely, like I said, I don't watch Twitch too much anymore, but I might hop in. At least
I have a pretty
on occasion.
fun thing going on right now, too. I organize and host a Lego building competition. So
Oh my god.
I've grabbed 8 really talented Lego builders from the Lego community, and they are all competing in head-to-head battles for the title of Master Builder.
Oh god, that's
So that's happening every Sunday.
So-
And what's fun about it is the viewers get to vote on the theme, challenges,
cool.
and the winners.
So it's Master Chef, but with Legos.
Pretty much.
Yes.
Oh god.
Yep.
I'm definitely tuning into that on Sunday.
Yeah.
I don't think I have anything on my docket.
Look forward to seeing you there.
Oh yeah, I'll be there. Like, I may not be active in chat because I might be going, you know, at home. And that's the sound of clapping, you perverts.
I didn't say anything.
No, I'm not talking about
did
you.
I?
I'm talking about our audience.
Oh.
I'm seeing the backlash, like picturing the backlash of what I just did, and it's like,
That
might not have been a thing I might have not wanted to do. So,
That might have been actually me just being super guilty.
yes, but as always, you, other than that, I mean, you can find me on Twitter, @DS_Raven, where I have re-updated Featherstone to include Faction Rally Gains, as I tweeted out, and a bunch of people had liked and retweeted that, so thank you all for that support.
It's so good. It's so fucking good.
But yeah, like I said, I went back, like I put in what you get from every rank, from every faction, and I actually went back and re-added, like, I realized that I didn't do that for Crucible or Vanguard rankings either, so that information is now in there. Like where these weapons come from, at what exact rank. So yeah, that's fully updated, and like with the stuff like that I know of. Like I said, it will be updated probably shortly to make sure that Basilisk, the Vision, and the Broadsword Launcher are properly listed as just regular. Because even though they're new weapons after they come out of the winner's offering, they will be going into the regular loot pool, so they're not going to be part of progression, which is one thing I think we kind of missed over and when explaining the new like winner's offerings. But yeah, they'll go into the regular loot pool, so that will be normally listed under those weapons. So there's that. So yeah.
And you can find me on Twitter at BusterKnuckle13. That's BusterKnuckle13. You can also find me on Xbox whenever I get on Xbox because I'm playing Destiny 2 at the same name, BusterKnuckle13. You can find me on PSN at BlisterLister113. Nick, that's Blister Lister 113. Spelled exactly the way it sounds. I know, terrible name. I was going to ask you after the show anyway what your PSN was so I could send you a friend request. But you can find this podcast, the RNG Cast, at the RNG Cast on Twitter. The RNGcast at gmail.com is our email. We have a Patreon where we watch terrible movies and do commentary for you for supporting us at any level. And that's at patreon.com / the RNGcast. And Nick, once again, thank you for coming on, man.
Thank you so much.
You are always welcome if you ever have a Saturday where you're like, I don't have anything to do. Maybe I'll talk to these guys for 3 hours.
Yeah.
And with that being said, Pete says goodbye, everybody. With that being said, this is episode 106 of the RNG Cast, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, 106.
Episode 106 of the RNG Cast. We're out.
Later, man.
Nick, say something.
Oh, have a good one.
See you all next week.